Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to another live stream Q&A about Islam. And of course, sometimes we talk about politics as well. I wait a little bit for those who would like to join. Yeah, it has been a week of unrest in Iran, a revolution going on. Hopefully this time Iranian people bring down the regime and, create, create a secular republic democracy in Iran. Of course, powers, those who don't want to see democracy in Iran, they try to install their own alternative in the country. And that alternative for them is the former dictatorship. Yes, I would like to play so far a video from CNN and go through that video about demonstration in Iran. It is on TikTok. Let me share it. Yeah.
Daring chants on the streets of Tehran calling for the return of Iran's monarchy. We haven't heard this in past waves of protests. Some of the demonstrators appear to be heeding the calls of this man, Reza Pahlavi, the eldest son of the last Shah of Iran.
Okay, the thing is that in reality, he doesn't have that much support. And through propaganda there is a TV channel, supported by Saudi Arabia. That channel is making a lot of propaganda for this guy. Otherwise, this guy cannot, gather even 200-300 people outside Iran. He has tried many times. And yes, while people were out, he was asking them, to come out despite they were out already. It's like you ask the sun to rise. It is obvious that the sun is going to rise. It's not going to rise because you command it. So this guy said that Thursday and Friday come out and demonstrate against Iranian regime, which people were doing it already. They didn't need for his request or command. And some people are chanting his name there, some youth that have been under a dictatorship. And another side is that Iranian regime also have their own elements who support this guy because he is not a leader who can bring down the regime. The leader that can bring down the regime is only MEK, the well-organized opposition, well-organized organization, not a guy who doesn't have even a telephone number, an office outside Iran. Of course, inside Iran, never. So he has nothing, and he was on vacation, actually. He didn't even break his vacation and come back. He let his vacation finish and then come. He came back a few days ago from his Christmas vacation.
و پنجشنبه 18 و 19 دی ماه را سر ساعت 8 شب.
So who is Reza Pahlavi and what role is he playing in these protests that have spread like a wildfire across every province of Iran? The 65-year-old came to the United States when he was 17 and remained exiled there after his father, the former Shah, was overthrown in the 1979 Islamic Revolution. For years, the exiled crown prince has sought to present himself as a man who can lead Iran's opposition and rid the country of the...
And the thing is that this guy, in 45 years, he hasn't been doing anything. He hasn't been fighting. He hasn't done anything. Just in 2008, he started to make some interview when people were out and, making a revolution in 2008 against the regime. And he came and made some statement. And after those demonstrations were cracked down by Iranian regime, he left. He totally was gone. Again, I think 2011, again there was protest. He came and sent some messages. So he's just an opportunist, only opportunist. Okay. And now recent years, 2-3 years, he has been more active, of course. And what is that activity? Nothing special, just making more interviews, going to some gatherings. He doesn't do anything himself, nothing.
Oppressive theocratic rule. And with this new wave of protests sparked by the state of the economy that quickly morphed into anti-regime demonstrations, Pahlavi appears to be seizing the moment. In a Washington Post op-ed this week, he said he doesn't see protesters chanting his name as a claim to power. Instead, he sees himself as a unifying transitional leader who could help guide the
leader. Okay, you cannot even lead a cafeteria. You cannot do anything. This guy cannot do anything, and he sees himself as a leader. A leader must have fought against this regime all these years. A leader must have, some army, some organization, something, He doesn't have anything.
Country from tyranny to democracy. But Pahlavi is a divisive figure. While he does have the support of many Iranian monarchists who are nostalgic for the days of the Shah, it's unclear just how much support he really has inside the country. You'll hear many Iranians who want nothing more than an end to this regime saying a monarchy is not what they have been fighting for. They say Pahlavi hasn't set foot in Iran in decades. He's too disconnected from the people who have been on the front lines of the battle for freedom and democracy. His close ties to Israel, quite public during his visit in...
Yeah, and he has a great hope that somebody bring down this regime, Israel or USA, bring down this regime and put him in power, because he cannot do anything by himself. So, he just hang on other powers.
2023, where he was warmly welcomed by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and...
Not warmly. CNN was a little bit, how to say, shy to show that picture that Netanyahu met him out, I don't know, somewhere outside the bathroom. It was in a basement on plastic chairs. That wasn't warm welcoming,
Their officials has also been a source of controversy and concern for many Iranians. The big question right now is, do Iranians who are risking their lives...
By the way, why Israel would like to see this guy in power and why Saudi Arabia would like to see this guy in power is because these countries, they don't want democracy in Iran. Democracy in Iran will spread to the entire Middle East, and Middle East will develop, Middle East will, become peaceful, and Israel cannot take over other parts of Palestine and other countries. So Israel would like to see a dictatorship, or the region is ruled by different dictators, okay? And Saudi Arabia doesn't want to see democracy in Iran as well, because democracy in Iran will also spread to Saudi Arabia and they lose control. The monarchists in Saudi Arabia will lose the control in Saudi Arabia. That's why they all have some sort of benefit of dictatorship. Of course, they don't want this dictatorship, current dictatorship. Saudi Arabia doesn't want the current dictatorship, because the current dictatorship want to, occupy Saudi Arabia and other countries in the Middle East, and they want to spread their revolution or ideology to those countries, despite they don't believe in anything. But anyway, they use something. So that's how different power, benefiting this dictatorship or the next dictatorship. Assalamu alaikum, my dear sister Miss Kay, welcome. How are the Mossad protests going? Mossad protest. I don't understand, what are you talking about? If you are saying that these are Mossad protests, no, absolutely wrong, my sister. These people are frustrated because they put their lives in front line. Okay, many of them have been killed. In 46 years, they have been oppressed by a regime, and now they are, coming out. Hello, my dear brother, Kafir Mike. Is it Kafir Mike? Democracy is going nowhere in the Middle East. The Arab Spring failed miserably. Muslims hate democracy. No, Mike, that's absolutely wrong. Muslims don't hate democracy. Arab Spring was just, people came out. Of course, there was some changes, like, for example, in Egypt, there were some changes. Tunisia were some changes. Better, it's not perfect. And the thing is that the democracy in Iran will be different, okay? If a democratic, government take the power, which we have a democratic organization that can bring a beautiful, perfect democracy in Iran, and that will spread to the Middle East. And they shot a 3-year-old girl named Melina. I don't know who are they, okay? Can you please, Ms. Kay, tell me who are they who shot a 3-year-old? I think she's saying the Jews are behind this. Yeah, I also heard, and I told her that this is a revolution for 46 years frustration, oppression. Why do you think the Jews want to bring down the mullahs? Don't they want them as an enemy? Yes, they want them as enemy. And of course, they are also, they don't want them, build a nuclear weapon. Tunisia had one transfer of power, and the current guy disbanded the parliament. Okay, anyway, this is different. Iran has a very special influence into the Middle East, and Iran is different. Iranian people are educated, and of course, if they manage these powers, bring back the former dictatorship, okay, that's different. But we have a well-organized democratic organization that is going to take the power, and if they take the power, then there will be a lot of good changes in the Middle East. They are the Jews. I don't know who are the Jews.
By going out on the streets, genuinely support the restoration of the monarchy, or are they just fed up with their repressive regime? And with the regime crushing and imprisoning opposition figures.
Look, this, you see, they are absolutely quiet about my organization that has been fighting 2 dictatorships in 60 years. And we have a vast, support. We have been fighting this regime in so many years, but they just made it in this way that there are two alternatives: this regime or monarchy. Just these two. Nothing about there is another alternative.
Inside the country, Pahlavi may be their only viable option right now.
Maybe the only viable option right now. He's not an option at all, okay? We thought the Iraqis were educated too. No, you were wrong. It's not about, it is very different. Iraq is quite different. And I don't know how to, you will see, okay, Mike? You have to just wait until this regime goes and you will see the difference, okay? Even, everybody say when Iranian, for example, go to USA or other countries, they are among the, most successful. I think Israel would much rather have a cordial Pahlavi ruled Iran. Yes, I told you, yeah, of course they would like that. He already promised to sign Abrahamic Accords. It's not about Abrahamic Accord, it's mostly about they don't want a true democracy in Iran. You think the Shah can be reinstalled? No, I do not think. There is a possibility, I cannot say, because anything can happen, because they can guide people. They did it in 1979. They guided people to Ayatollah Fascist Khomeini. BBC that time was Ayatollah BBC. And now there is this, I call it Arab International. It is called Iran International TV, but it is supported by Saudi Arabia. And they make a lot of propaganda for former regime. He can be reinstalled, sure. It is very, very, my organization said it is impossible. We do not allow. Now, if you ask me if the Shah rule would actually survive, that's another story. He cannot be, it is quite impossible for me when my organization is there and ready. So we do not allow such a transition anymore. In 1979 it was possible because my organization was small. They didn't have support. They were just 150 people, just 150 people. But now they have millions of supporters. Okay. The link is there for those who would like to join. And I was going to play another video. That was a video. I don't know if this ignorant guy, Hourglass, has been sharing that video with some people. Martin shared it with me, and he has been spreading misinformation with this video that MEK is just a second. This video, I don't know, Ms. K, has Hourglass been sharing this with you as well? Let me see what my Martin wrote. That I wish that Martin was here. Yeah, Hourglass seems to be sharing this video with lots of people and says that the MEK sounds evil. Okay. Now, this ignorant guy called Hourglass doesn't understand that the video is made by Al Jazeera, already exposed. Al Jazeera is a Qatar TV, okay, Qatari TV. And Qatar was under sanction by several Arab countries like UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Bahrain because of Qatar's ties with Iranian fascist regime. Okay, looks fake to me. Hard to believe the flags would fly like that. No, this is not a fake. This is what is it? A demonstration that my organization have had. Okay, I will play it now. And anyway, this video, and there has been other videos by Al Jazeera against my organization because Iranian regime asked Al Jazeera to, and they cooperate as well to make such a videos and propaganda against my organization, because my organization is the biggest enemy of Iranian regime.
This is the MEK.
Mullahs must get more sanctions!
Also known as the People's Mujahideen of Iran. Banned from Iran and based in Albania, they hold rallies like this across the Western world, calling for the overthrow of the government of the Islamic Republic of Iran. High-profile U.S. politicians often take part and are reportedly paid thousands of dollars for their time.
I think the regime in Tehran is very fragile. I think there's enormous domestic opposition to it.
Iran should be isolated until Iran changes.
The message is simple. It's time
Somebody should say to this idiot, Al Jazeera, that by paying these politicians, you cannot, hire them. For example, Hezbollah. If Hezbollah paid them millions of dollars, they would not join Hezbollah's rally. So why they join MEK's rally is because they believe that MEK is the only democratic alternative to Iranian regime. Of course, they get money for their time, thousands of dollars. Yes, okay. Anybody, even Obama get money, even, any politician who are not in power, they get money. And there are many politicians that are in MEK's rallies who do not get a single dollar because they are in power and they cannot get money, okay? But yet they support MEK.
for regime change in Iran, and the MEK is the best option to move forward. But is it? We decided to ask around. We spoke to
Yeah, that was our elected president, Mrs. Maryam Rajavi.
Hassan Hirani, a former MEK member.
Okay, former MEK member. They have been, claiming many times in the past. Somebody who, come and join some demonstration for a few times, and then they abuse that person as former MEK members. Okay, so this is a tactic by Iranian regime. The guy might just have been in some, member of MEK is almost impossible to become member. It takes several years of, working hard and leaving everything behind, family, everybody. What did you think of the White Revolution? I don't know what is that White Revolution.
Mahjoub Zuhairi, a professor of Iranian and Gulf Studies at Qatar University.
Qatar University, such a person.
And Barbara Slavin, director of Future of Iran Initiative at the Atlantic.
Okay, this Barbara, she's a, Iranian agent in USA. Okay, and she make a lot of, she support Iranian regime a lot in the West. So these people are trying to, disqualify MEK by who? By Al Jazeera. And this guy, ignorant guy, Hourglass, sharing this as evidence.
Anti-Council, an American think tank.
This group is not fit to replace the Iranian government. It's a cult around a disappeared, possibly dead leader, Massoud.
He's not dead. He has hidden himself because the organization is afraid that the West will exchange him with Iranian regime, like they did with Kurdish leader, Turkish. What was that? The name of that guy? Abdullah Öcalan. Yes, Abdullah Öcalan was also arrested and sent to Turkey by the West. So that's why Masoud Rajavi has hidden himself, and these ignorant people, they say, possibly dead. The White Revolution, okay, or the Shah and People Revolution. I know that was a far-reaching series. Yeah, that wasn't a revolution, that was, he wanted to, he made farmers poorer, and he wanted to bring them to the cities. By that way, he gave them land without any opportunities, without anything. So these poor farmers, they end up working a little bit, few years on those lands that they received, and after a few years, leave it and go to the city, because the Shah needed industrial. So the Shah needed, workers. So he should bring them from the villages. Unfortunately, it destroyed Iranian agriculture with that so-called white revolution of reforms to aggressive modernize the imperial state of Iran launched. Yes, I know that the so-called white revolution by the Shah, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, and ended with his overthrow in 1979. Yes, and it's so good, Mike, that you read a lot. That's great. I appreciate that. The land and political reform. I guess you can say he tried but fell short to address corruption. So in the end, he fixed some problems, but new ones appeared, worse one. And he didn't want to fix any problems. Everything he was doing was by order of USA at that time. And UK was angry with the Shah. Okay, why? Because they together, UK and USA together with the coup d'etat, brought him to power. And Shah started slowly to go towards USA, because UK was getting weaker and weaker after the Second World War. And USA was getting stronger. So Shah went towards USA more and more, and UK became angry. That's why the only opposition radio at that time was Ayatollah BBC. We call it Ayatollah BBC. BBC Persia. And people were listening to BBC Persia because it was opposing Shah a lot. And that, in that way, BBC could lead people during the revolution towards Khomeini. All right. Let me see. I read these things. I don't understand why it is. Okay, yeah, and the entire non-Western world is full of corruption. Nothing unique to the Shah there. Yeah, but the thing is that Shah was a dictatorship, okay? He was a dictatorship, and the West, of course, at least, is democratic. The West is democratic, and people can somehow, newspaper, they can expose these types of corruption, but the Shah was a dictator and he wasn't allowing such things. So anyway, that Shah went towards USA, the new master, and everything he was doing in the country was by the order of USA, okay? Iran has big problems over population, oil prices low, and water drought. Iran has, it is in reality the regime in Iran, same as Saudi and Venezuela. Yes, it is, the regime has all these problems and created all these problems. Otherwise, if this regime falls, everything will be changed. Yeah, huge drought right now, and that is what happens when you overpopulate. It is not about the overpopulation, no, it is about mismanagement of the water, the desert. I just looked up Iraq, and they had less than 6 million in 1950. Now 47 million. Yeah, but as I said, it's about mismanagement. They could do a lot of different things. And Iranian regime, for making dams here, there, so that they make money, they have, destroyed many rivers and so on. And they dry out a big lake in Iran, which has a lot of salt now, and those salt are spreading around. When the oil runs out, there will be hell to pay all through the Middle East. Yeah, but that's why people are, fighting to get democracy, so that the country develop and is not rely only on oil and gas and such things, okay? So that they can be industrial as well. And yes, they can do other things as well, not only oil. That's why we are fighting.
Rajavi and his widow, Mariam Rajavi.
Widow. She's not widow.
It brainwashes people. It forces
So I'm brainwashed, you Iranian agent.
them to give up their earthly goods, to divorce their spouses, to renounce their children. And it
That's so the devil, Hello, hi revolution. She make it, the sacrifice that people have made for their own country, for the people. She make it so demonic, that they left their children. Now in Ukraine as well, people leave their family going to fight against Russia. So you cannot make it demonic that, so they change everything, make it, bad, even if, despite you do the biggest sacrifice. Or one larger conflict running the oil infrastructure, yes. Or one larger conflict running the oil. If there will be democracy, things will be changed. Said Islam is finished in Iran. Who said? Big Nose? Big Nose is very ignorant, One larger conflict running the oil infrastructure. So how is Kuwait doing fine when their oil fields were literally blown up? Yeah, revolution. Sorry. Big Nose is quite ignorant, because Islam has been there in 1400 years, and it doesn't finish by this or that. Salaam alaikum, my dear brother Kafir. Mike Kafir, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How's everything with you, my brother?
Oh, everything's great. Well,
Yeah.
the Bucks didn't make the playoffs, but we didn't really deserve to.
Mhm.
Other than that, everything's all right.
All right, yeah.
This game was maybe talking about the first Gulf War.
Okay, yes.
She's saying ruining, as in to destroy the oil infrastructure. But
Mhm.
anyway, so you don't think these countries are overpopulated? I mean, I know Iran, like food security, Iran actually has, some decent climate in different areas.
Mhm.
It's kind of like California, actually. I guess that's why we grow pistachios in California after we sanctioned Iranians. But Saudi Arabia,
Mhm.
I mean, Iraq has, two big rivers flowing through it, but
Mhm.
Kuwait, North Africa, you don't think these guys, well, North Africa already isn't very prosperous because they don't have a lot of oil.
No, they don't have.
Gulf states, Qatar, you just mentioned. I don't know what their population is. They're a tiny little, are they a peninsula sticking out?
Yeah, very little. Yes.
Bahrain, it's not little island.
Yeah. But the thing is that, for example, Qatar, they don't have any river, any water. They just, I think they make from the sea, they make sweet water. Like I think even UAE, Saudi as well.
Yeah. And Saudi has the Arabian Sea has a huge dead spot around it, right? From them desalinizing the water, and they pump the salt just right back. It's too high a salinity, everything dies.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to raise cattle. I don't know if you knew Saudi Arabia bought a bunch of land in Africa to grow hay, alfalfa, to feed their cattle industry, and they couldn't get it to port. So they've actually bought a bunch of land in Arizona, in Southern California, to grow hay and then they ship it all the way across the ocean to feed their cows that they keep under tents, getting misted with water because it's so damn hot. You can't really raise cattle there, but they're doing it, but at a huge expense. None of this is sustainable. These population growths, and the Ayatollah Khomeini said we'll outbreed the infidels, and the population of Iran it doubled from 1980 to 2000 or something. It's what is the population of Iran?
Let me tell you that 45 years ago was 35 millions, and now is 85 millions.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So you do have a huge population that's under 30. Is kind of pro-Western, not so dogmatic under Islam.
No, they are not.
The revolution may actually happen here one of these days.
Yeah, the revolution.
These men out of work.
Yes, I know the revolution is happening now already. But yes, the thing is that if we have a democratic government, we can manage all these, population. We have a lot of resources that we can manage everything. Okay, just we have to get rid of this corrupted mafia regime that is taking our money. We are under sanction as well and other things, and the money that comes, even that one goes to their accounts and they steal it, and some of them goes to Hezbollah, to different terrorist organization. Okay, let me see. This revolution says that he says, I think the big nose, mosques are empty. Yeah, a lot of mosques are empty. The thing is that people are frustrated with this regime, but still many people believe. I know that many people believe that, but they don't go to the mosque because they know that the mosques are under the control of this regime. Not that they are against Islam. They just don't want to go to the mosque because they are against this regime. Yes, Mike.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. You don't want to be preached to by the guys you disagree with.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to brainwash your children.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The women behind the wall back there. You can't tell them, this guy's an idiot. He's saying death to America.
Yeah, exactly. People don't want to say death to America or anybody else. They just, they want to live in peace. Much issues like overpopulation and resources, scarities can't be fixed simply by changing the government. It can be fixed by a democratic government within maybe it's not within 2-3 years, but within a decade, because you see, Mike.
Right.
But
I understand you're claiming there isn't a resource scarcity. It's just a resource mismanagement.
Yeah, I have to tell you this. Wait, you see this connects. Yeah, do you see this place that in the picture that I have it? Al Jazeera was showing. Yeah, Mike, do you see this?
It keeps changing camps against their will.
Yeah, this camp. Yeah, this was Americans' camp when they were in Iraq. The American soldiers, they had it like this. When MEK was moved to this camp, despite they were isolated, they were not getting anything, but they made it so nice. They made trees, they flourished it. It became very beautiful. So this organization, and they even when they went to Albania, within 2 years, they made something that Rudy Giuliani, when he visited after 2 years that camp in Albania that they are there, he said that you are amazing. If you were going to make this in New York, it would take us minimum 15 years with 600 corruption cases. And you made it within 2 years. So Ms. K, don't think that it's impossible. It is possible if, people want, everything is possible. Let me see. You need science believing governance. Yes. We will have that. I think Chicago.
To me, Muji, that camp looks kind of sad. I mean, I guess.
Yeah. No, this is.
There's no grass.
No, exactly. No, Mike. I will find. This is exactly how they received it. Okay. And I will find a video that to show you that they made like a, yes, they changed it to a beautiful place. Despite they were not receiving anything, it was like a jail for them, Mike. Okay. But anyway, they were, pushing and bringing in later. I will find for you a video later. Yes. Let me see what he says, Mike. Question, I think Chicago Bears win. Okay, that's not relevant. Go back. What was that? Chicago, no. Don't talk about Chicago. My parents are from, okay. That's Chicago. Overpopulation.
We got some football talk in there.
Yeah, I see. That's why I said overpopulation is a world problem. Over consumption of resources is a rich country's problem mainly. Yes, that's overpopulation is a problem, definitely. Yeah, but we will fix it. Let me see. I can try to find.
Well, just so everyone knows, the white population of the world has been stagnant since 1980. We figured out you can't have 10, 12 kids a long time ago. So now it's looking like probably the worst thing we did for the planet was to go around and inoculate everybody against, MMR, mumps, measles, rubella, and create longevity and children living longer and living into reproductive age, because most of the world did not change their reproductive strategy and continue to have 5, 6 kids or more. So Moonji, do you think Iran can double their population again in, let's say, the next 50 years? How many people do you think that country can support?
Actually, the country is bigger than UK, Germany, France, all together. Yeah, and only Germany has, I think, 60 million people. Yeah,
right.
England has.
The UK is a tiny little island with 60, 70 million people on it. And I didn't realize there's only like 4 million in Scotland. I mean, most of them are in London.
Exactly. So
they also have arable land. I mean, they're green all throughout. Ireland is damn reliable.
I know.
You guys have huge swathes of desert that are non-productive. I mean, you would have to put massive amounts of water into it to, it's like turning Vegas into a city.
Yeah.
It was idiotic.
Yeah, there are different possibilities, Mike. Like even, of course, we are not like Ayatollahs who want to breed just millions of people because they think that like China, they will become strong if they have hundreds of millions. So we are not like that. We will try to control the population, but yes, there are different possibilities, like bringing water from the Gulf. No, it is near Persian Gulf. Okay, anyway, Persian Gulf is connected to the ocean. Okay, so there are possibilities to bring water from there to the desert, to the middle of Iran, and there are such a plans. But and the only thing is that a government wants money, put money in such a projects. So there are many different possibilities.
Well, yeah, I mean, if everyone can figure out desalination and do it properly, we got plenty of water. But it's extremely expensive. We built a desal plant here in Tampa over, it's called Apollo Beach area. It's where the Big Bend power plant is, because they were using the discharge from the power plant to pick up warm water, desalinize it, and then they actually mixed it to knock the salinity levels down and pumped it like 2 miles out into the bay. So it wasn't just all sitting right off, land there and not mixing the fluent with the regular water to bring the salinity levels down. We never got it running. We had to bring in the Germans to try to figure it out. The filters that they thought would last like 5 years, they had to replace like every 2 months. And it just got so expensive, they shut it down. So it's not the easiest process in the world. It's certainly possible. I don't know why you wouldn't just pump the salt, like you could pump it back into oil wells and stuff. Once you take the oil out, I assume they pump water into the oil fields so you don't get big, sinkholes.
Let me see. There is something.
There's all sorts of unintended consequences, unforeseen.
It says Moji Iran has only 1 or 2 desalination plants. Right now, it doesn't have anything. Iran has nothing. Okay, yes, but it will be, everything will be possible with a government that take care of the country, not just take care of their own business and robbing people. Iran's rivers and dams water is drying up, getting used up. Yeah, I know all these things, I know, but this is, you have to give it a chance when a democratic government take the power. They could recycle sewage for water. They do that in Singapore. We do it even in Sweden as well. Yes, we could do all these things, exactly. But the thing is that he says Iran population 93 million. I don't think so. As I know, is maximum 85. But anyway, that's not the most important thing. But anyway, so I don't know if Hourglass was sharing with you this video as well, yeah? Because Martin said that he's sharing it with everybody. No? Mike?
No, I haven't seen Hourglass in a while. He's not responding to my emails anymore either. So
okay. Yeah, he's up, down. Sometimes he's crazy, and I don't know. Sometimes he support ISIS. Sometimes he's attacking me. Sometimes he's friend with me. So he's a little bit unstable.
Well, he's definitely orthodox, and he wants to stone people and
he's
fornicators and other things like that. But at the same time, I don't know if you've ever seen, like, he does posts on Christmas and Halloween, and he likes horror movies, and
that's what I say. He's very unstable,
westernized, while at the same time very orthodox.
He's very unstable person, Yeah. So anyway, this video that it's a little bit long. I don't know if you want me to go through it. And it is just a propaganda against MEK. Let me see, Sean. Hello, Sean.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm an environmentalist. Fine, I'm an environmentalist, so I care a lot about human population and environment and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And I looked at documentaries about Iran's water supply, and it's not looking good. They had a really bad drought there last 5 years because of climate change, and plus
Right,
they
right.
have like in Iran, so like some dams have like 5% water left, so
Actually,
they
it is-
might have
yeah.
to move the
Yeah,
capital
Sean.
of
Yeah,
Iran.
Sean. Yeah, Sean. I was saying before you come that it is not about dry out. It is mostly about mismanagement of the water resources. Okay, so the government has been just using the water instead thinking about a long-term solution. Okay, so mostly it's about Iranian regime. Otherwise, for example, now it's raining, snowing everywhere.
Well, hopefully the water crisis won't stay forever, but I heard that it's pretty bad, and I don't know if the rains and the snow will be able to refill the dams. They'll have to do a lot of changes, and some of them will be quite hard to.
Yeah. The only change, yes, the only change is that the regime falls. And democracy. We establish democracy in Iran.
Yeah, but democracy doesn't always pan out, you know. Some democracies, you could vote in Trump. Like, I don't like Trump for environmental reasons mainly, but you could vote in a guy that's really bad for the environment, and you could fuck shit up too. So I don't think democracy is all that good, you know. Don't expect always good things about democracy.
And the environmentalists can fuck up the environment too. You have democracy in California, but they mismanage their water horribly. They've got tons of water, and they stopped building reservoirs in like the 70s, and their water just goes out to the sea. It's not used. They have wildfires like crazy.
Yeah, a lot of environmentalists don't care about overpopulation. A lot of environmentalists think that overpopulation is a taboo subject. We should not talk about it. But population and resource consumption is the main reason why nature is decreasing. Like, there's horrible facts of like 70% reduction in wildlife biomass around the world since the 70s.
Sure.
And there's only like 4. So we've replaced the whole world with animals, farm animals, and humans. And we have very little left of wildlife. So if we keep on growing the population and the economy, we'll extinct the whole nature, and then we'll have humans left. And I don't know if nature will be able to support us anymore, and then we'll all die. That's the worst case scenario. And we're probably going to get there if we keep at what we're doing now. Like, climate change is another problem that's going to impact that even more. And that's like, nobody wants to talk about these problems, and I care about them. And I think this is like the 6th mass extinction, man-made 6th mass extinction. There's been 5 in the past, and now this one is man-made by humans.
Okay. I thought you were saying 5 man-made ones in the past. But anyway, yeah, I agree. Overpopulation is going to be the death of us all, ironically. But again, the white population of the world has been stagnant since 1980. I don't know if you saw Bill Nye, the science guy.
No, I'm not talking about
environmentalists. He
you
said white
could
people
also
should stop
have
having children. It's like, well, why white people don't have that many children?
I understand the white
Africans
people
and
are
the Southeast Asians that are overpopulating the planet, and in the Middle Eastern, the Arabs. I mean, how can you have 47 million people in Iraq?
Yeah. If you're thinking about, let's say, I asked AI this: what is the ideal population for the world, for the environment to stay stable, and all that? They said about 2 billion to 500 million.
Yeah, there's a guy who wrote a book. There's a guy who wrote a book, Counting, and I was listening to him being interviewed on the radio, and the guy says, "What do you think the world population should be?" And he said 2, and I thought he's going to say billion. He said 200 million. He said, "Wait until the nitrate runs out, and our crop yields get decimated because we don't have any fertilizer left." Look what happened to Sri Lanka when they banned fertilizer for 6 months or something, and their crop yields went down 30%, and the people rioted and kicked the parliament out. Yeah.
Do you agree with climate science, Mazdin?
Yeah. Obviously, it's getting hotter.
So you're not a crazy conservative who thinks that climate change is not real and all that stuff.
No, climate change is very real, and it's due mainly to overpopulation and modern sciences. We all want to live in air-conditioned homes, at least here in Florida. We want to have lights, we want to drive our cars. We want to be able to get around, fly on planes.
Yeah, but then the new leader of Iran is going to have to care about these things. It's going to be very tough for him to solve these problems. He's probably not going to be able to do it, honestly. He's going to fail, but he'll try. Hopefully he should try anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I mean, just staying focused on Iran, after obviously the revolution in 79 and the Grand Ayatollah Khomeini said, we'll outbreed the infidels, their population skyrocketed. But then, as Munji said, they are pretty educated. As they started to educate their women, I think their birth rate at one point got down to 1.4. And so then they're like, hang on, we're not having enough kids now. So you get these huge baby booms and you get these huge populations of unemployed men under 30. And then they can't have children. They can't afford children. They can't get married. So then you have a big drop in population, just like the Chinese did under their one child thing. And then when you get those people who were under 30 get to 60, 70 and have to be retired, you don't have the population then to support them because you had a huge baby drought. So this artificial,
yeah, but I still think China has a high population, don't they? They probably have a lot of single men and women, but they still have a high population, like 1 billion or something.
They're not retracting yet, and they probably won't. They've undone the one-child policy. They've gone to 2. I think then you can even petition to have a 3rd if you can prove you got enough resources to support it or something. But they are going to have a huge problem with.
Are they allowed contraception? In Islam, are you allowed to have contraceptives in Islam, in Iran, and all that stuff?
Yeah, there is no anything in the Quran that forbid it. No, there is nothing forbid it anyway. Yeah, you can use it, of course.
So what does Islam say about having kids? Does it say to have loads of kids?
No, it doesn't say anything about having few or lots of kids. It doesn't say, because there was no such a problem in the past, overpopulation. But if you control it, there is nothing against that you control it. Yes.
Well,
yeah, but does the Hadith say you should have as many kids you want, or Quran or something?
No, I don't know about such a Hadith. Okay, but if there is such a Hadith, then it is not correct, because Quran doesn't say anything about that. Yes, Mike?
There is a Hadith on coitus interruptus, right? Pulling out.
Okay.
Where the guys are all fighting jihad and they take some Arab women and pagans as captives. Mm-hmm. They said their separation from their wives for so long has grown hard on them, and they don't want to get their captives pregnant because they want to ransom them back to their people, possibly. So nobody pays good money for a clearly defiled woman. So they went and asked Muhammad if they're allowed to pull out. He said, anyone Allah wants to be born will be born. So it doesn't even matter. So it seems a little anti-original contraception.
I mean, the hadiths, such hadiths are trash, because people just 200 years later, they made up a lot of hadiths by themselves, okay? Because during Prophet Muhammad, Mike, there was no such a thing as taking women as captives. It was Mecca, Medina, okay? And they had some few hundred kilometers distance. So they wanted to fight. They would come in the middle of the way and start to fight each other in a field. Okay, so Muslims were not going to occupy Mecca. That was the last battle, and they occupied Mecca without any, fight, and everything became, everybody were forgiven. Nobody was taken. Even Abu Sufyan wasn't taken as captive. His wife, who killed Prophet's uncle, wasn't taken as captive. Okay, so these things are trash that they say Prophet Muhammad said these, or allowed. There was no such a thing as women, slaves or so on, Mike. Okay, because as I said, there were only men coming fighting each other 100 kilometers perhaps away from Mecca. the middle of the way, they were, in the middle of the desert, near, for example, one of them was the Battle of Ohod, was near some mountain. Yes,
I was going to say, Battle of the Mound. That's where the archers broke rank to.
Yes, exactly.
The Arab women were running away, and they shouted, "Booty, booty!" They wanted to get their war booty. And then Ben Khalid outflanked Muhammad and almost killed him, but peppered him with some slings.
Yeah, I know. But booty was, Mike, booty wasn't women. The booty was these, sword, and then, such a things from the battle. There was no women.
The women pick up their skirts so they could see their bangles.
Come on. No, this is, listen, Mike.
It's 19th book of Muslim.
No, wait, Mike.
Sahih.
Yeah, but Mike, they have made Sahih, even the goat story that the what is it? The verse of Quran. So don't care about the Sahih. So watch that movie with, it was The Message, or, The Message. Yeah,
Messenger.
The Message. Yeah, Anthony Quinn. No, it is not The Message. I think it was The Message. And it was...
Maybe it was The Message.
No, it is The Message. Anyway, and it was agreed by many, many scholars that this is exactly how it happened. And the Uhud battle, you can see it was just men fighting each other. Okay, I can bring it up for you if you want. So there was no any woman, and then this kind of stories they may make a lot of, Yeah,
you're right. It's The Message. Do you know some Muslims in D.C., they shot Marion Barry over that and kidnapped a bunch of people. It's called the Hanafi episode in 79. They were upset about that movie, even though they never showed Muhammad or any guy playing him. He spoke from off camera or whatever. Anthony Quinn was, I forget, Abu somebody.
He was his uncle, Hamza.
Yeah, okay, he was the uncle.
And then he was killed in that movie. Let me see. Explain the Night of Al-Zut hadith. I don't know what kind of hadith is that. Al-Zut. I've never heard about that.
Is that the breastfeeding of grown men?
I don't know.
That was supposedly eaten by the goat too.
Yeah, that was also, both of them were eaten by a goat. Just these two verses were eaten by a goat. And it is so sad that the stoning and that, let me see, Umamra bravely fought to defend the Prophet Muhammad when the tide turned, picking up weapons and shielding him despite sustaining severe injuries. I don't know what is that. Sorry. You found the hadith? Sean, you have anything to say?
No, I'm just worried about the planet in general because of all the problems we're facing. But Islam, I don't know much. I watched some apostate prophet videos about Islam and critical videos about Islam, but I haven't read anything or anything like that.
He's an apostate prophet, also quite ignorant, And last debate I had with him, he promised that he would never again debate me because I, kind of destroyed him. Understand? Because the guy, he just, he see the Islam like Taliban and ISIS. For example, things that has happened 1400 years ago is understandable that people maybe Prophet Muhammad doesn't exist, so that they can ask Prophet Muhammad, did you do this or did you do that? Did you marry a 6-year-old child or so on? They cannot ask. I understand. But something that's happening in 21st century, like my organization, I had a debate with him, Sean, and then a few days later, he saw one documentary from Al Jazeera again. Somebody shared with him and said that, this Muji Perfect Dawa is supporting this terrorist organization and so on. And this guy fell for that right away without even contacting me, Sean, asking me, Muji, these people, I have seen this documentary. What is your answer to this documentary? So that he can hear both sides, Sean, and then decide just by watching that documentary, he decided that my organization is a cult, a terrorist organization, and then I was asking him, from where you got this information? Just look that it is from Al Jazeera, then realize that this is from Iranian regime. Anyway, so this guy is ignorant. He cannot decide about something, that has happened 1400 years ago, when he cannot understand that in 21st century, he has to make more, research before he decide about something. Am I right or not, Sean?
I wouldn't know. I don't know. I haven't actually researched your organization much. I know that you're a kind of lefty organization that is against the regime in Iran.
But Sean, what I'm saying is that you should at least understand that this documentary that you have watched is made by Al Jazeera International, and Al Jazeera International. No. I'm saying that this guy had watched it. Okay. Apostate Prophet, he had watched a documentary, and he decided through that documentary, that my organization is this and that. Okay?
Yeah, he probably doesn't like you. He probably doesn't like the lefties. That's why.
Yeah, no.
He's orthodox now. No, he's an orthodox now. So he's like ultra conservative right winger now.
I know. Listen, Sean, I say that time, it doesn't matter. You don't have to decide about the organization just because you don't like this left. I say he decided through that documentary movie, and that documentary movie was made by Al Jazeera, and he should understand already that this Al Jazeera is making this video or documentary by the help of Iranian regime. So it is, stupid to decide through this documentary. Okay. So I'm saying his judgment is based on a wrong decision. Okay. He doesn't understand that he has to.
Yeah, he's also very pro-Israel.
Yes, he's very pro. He's just because he's against Islam, so he's pro-Israel and supporting.
But your group, what's your group called?
MEK.
MEK. Are they pro-Israel too?
No. They are not. They are pro. What is it? PLO, Palestinian. The true representative of Palestinian. Okay, and they agree on whatever PLO agrees. Okay.
Right. The PLO are not as bad as Hamas, that's for sure. I do not be wrong there. But I think they're going to lose. Israel's going to take over. Like, didn't King David, when King David was around, he had a bigger empire than Israel. He had like bits of Jordan, Lebanon.
Yeah. Syria. This is what they want.
Is that what the Jews want?
Yeah, exactly. This is they have it on their what is it, on their uniform, military uniform. They have that empire on their uniforms. Yes. Have you seen that?
The Greater Israel?
Yeah. Have you seen that? Their uniform?
By the way, I think the PLO is gone, isn't it? Maybe you're thinking of the Palestinian Authority?
No, they are still in West Bank, okay?
Palestinian Liberation Organization that Arafat ran?
Yes, exactly. They are still running.
The Palestinian Authority that runs the West Bank.
Yeah, but this is the same PLO. I know it is. He's from the same movement. Okay.
Okay. I thought the PLO was gone. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe it is not anymore like your organization, but they are from the same, the same organization. Let me see. I'm trying to find this Israeli military.
Well, it's funny because I have seen some videos of what look to be Shias to me, given the turbans they're wearing, of guys saying, Israel belongs to the Jews.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you know Claire Kaw, the secular Quranist. She likes to quote a verse of the Quran. I think it's 17:104, if I can remember correctly.
Let me see.
The Quran gives Israel to the Jews. Let me see.
No.
Something 104.
Okay. No, Quran doesn't give. Quran says that this land belong to you, go and live there. But
Yeah, it
doesn't
says
mean that.
unto Moses, dwell in the land.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that only Jews own that land. Okay, because then he shouldn't send Jesus or Prophet Muhammad. Okay, do you see this?
He said to the Israelites after him, dwell in the land, and the promise of the next life shall come to pass. We will bring you both together in judgment.
Sean, do you see that? Sean?
Oh yeah, but isn't that they owned that bit before, didn't they? In 1960 something or something.
No, they didn't. Own, no,
it's Sinai Peninsula.
Yeah. No. They just they haven't been owning more than what they. I mean, that time they owned even less than today. Anyway,
well, the Sinai Peninsula was taken in 76, the 6-Day War. They took the Sinai Egyptians, and then they gave it back in, I think, the Camp David Accords.
Yeah, they did.
But do you think they're going to send all the Somalis to, Gazans to Somaliland?
That's why they recognize them. That's an interesting take. They can't push them into Jordan. Too many of them are already in Jordan. Syria has got its own issues, but Somalia has a lot of issues too. I don't think you can put any Gazans Arabs down in Somaliland.
The world now is really in a pickle, aren't we? We're overpopulating the planet. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more protesting happening in 2006. It started with a bang, hasn't it? 2006.
Yeah, well, and we're overpopulating the worst parts of the planet. Bangladesh has how many? 200 million people now, and they flood every tsunami season. Pakistan.
Yeah, but the rich countries have caused most of the climate change. So if we overpopulated the world without causing climate change, we probably destroy ourselves slower. But we wanted to have a pleasurable life too, and overpopulate.
Well, like I said, the industrialized world's population has been stagnant for 40 years now. Obviously the pill was a huge thing to it, and women's liberation, which the Muslims hate. So Islam is no friend to minimizing population of the world.
But if more get more educated, will they change? If they get more educated, the women in UAE and Qatar and all that, will they make a revolution there?
It is trending that way. Again, if you look at Iran, when the women became educated, the birth rate dropped. It's
and that there is nothing in Islam.
In Africa mostly, but yeah.
Mike, there is nothing in Islam that says that you have to overpopulate or such things.
Well, it may not be implicitly stated, but you can. I mean, you've talked to Abbas and Imran and all these British Dawa guys. Even Jordan M. He's like, well, you guys see your churches emptying out. You can have more children. Why aren't the white people having more kids? It's like, well, because we know in the modern world you can't sustain a bunch of kids because you need to really college educate them, which is quite expensive. So there's all sorts of forces that are pushing against huge families. I mean, I'm the fifth child in my family, and I was born 7 years and a week from my oldest sister. My mom had 5 kids in 7 years and a week, but that was the 60s. My sister was born in 62. I was born in 69, and I've got 2 brothers and a sister between us. But my oldest niece just now got married. She's like 30 years old. My other niece is just now dating a guy. She's 29 or something. You can look at the Western world and people just aren't marrying as young as they used to because you got to be more educated, and they're not having as many children. But most of the Muslims I come across on YouTube say, no, women aren't supposed to be educated. I mean, you can look at Daniel Hikaju.
Yeah, come on. Mike, there are a bunch of idiots, so don't please, compare these idiots with all Muslims. Not majority of Muslims don't believe in these stupid people.
Well, he graduated with a degree in philosophy from Harvard.
Yeah.
He's Harvard educated, and she did a video on how her education was worthless to her, that she can't remember anything that she learned. It's like, it's not necessarily about learning facts. It's about being able to reason and understanding, complex concepts or whatever. But, we again, and I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I'm an Islamophobic troll, obviously. And most of the channels I come across, the guys are trying to turn the clock back, not move forward. They're not saying, yes, educate the women. They're saying, no. They all say, Daniel Hikaju mocked this woman in a Q&A thing. She said, well, I can't do math with my daughter. And he's like, oh, boo-hoo, I can't read to my daughter in high school. It's like, be married already. She doesn't need a high school education.
Yeah. He's, my God, he's the most stupid. He say himself that I could be, I don't remember exact words he said. I might be the most stupid person in the world, something like this. Low IQ, I would, but anyway, he's a very stupid guy. Yeah. I found that a video from that camp. Finally, let me show you what they did with that, camp that was just those Kazakhs. This is a few years later. They have built all these things. Here is a religious ceremony they have. These are the women, and in their Islam, by the way, women cannot sing, but these women are singing. And they build. Let me see. I will bring them. You see, these are the walls, which was concrete walls, yeah, and they even painted them so that it looks nicer. Behind, you see, there are trees behind. They made it very nice, even that camp. Let me see if I find.
Is this your group, MEK?
Yes, this is the group MEK. Behind, you see those trees behind? There was nothing, not a little plant there, okay? And they, despite they were not allowed to bring anything, they were like prisoners there by USA and the Iraqi government. They made them as prisoners there. There are more videos I could find, but anyway, they made it very beautiful for themselves. So this organization, and I will find a video from the current camp they have.
Do you think if the new king goes to power in Iran, hypothetically, would he be better than the current politicians in Iran?
I cannot, because they already, his supporters already promises massacre, massacre of my group and then leftists, so this is very dangerous. Okay, if they get the power and they really do what they promise, Sean, all right? But if they don't massacre, if they don't do such a things, definitely they are better than the mullahs, okay? Because they are, after a while, they are, some kind of puppet of the West, and they want to have good relation with the West and so on. But the thing is that they are dangerous. They are dictators as well, and they can fulfill these promises, burning people alive.
Wait, you're talking about the new king there that was being called for there? What's his name? Pavel or something?
I mean, he has very few support in Iran, okay? And some, I said before that there is a TV channel called Iran International, run by Saudi Arabia, make a lot of propaganda for this guy because he's a dictator. and they don't want democracy in Iran, Saudi Arabia. Democracy in Iran is bad for Saudi Arabia. Okay, so that's why some people get fooled by these, propaganda. But he doesn't have a vast support among Iranians. Many Iranians don't want to go back to that dictatorship. Many Iranians oppose him.
Okay, but are you worried about, hypothetically, in the future with all these democratic Muslim countries, that if they get more educated, will they become more atheistic?
No, because my organization, they are highly educated and they are not atheists. They believe in God, and they are all doctors, engineers, and they are very high educated people there.
Yeah, but you understand that I think a lot of educated people are atheistic, and a lot of scientists are. Majority, I think, of scientists are atheists.
Yeah, I understand, but the thing is that that's not how to say guarantee that you become atheist.
True.
Just because you are educated, I'm uneducated or what?
No, it's different. But I'm just saying that, the higher, specifically in sciences, if Muslim countries were more educated in sciences, then a lot of them will question their beliefs of.
I definitely question many things. Yeah, but I come to a correct conclusion. For example, about Adam and Eve. Yeah, being the first people. No. I do not believe that they are the first people. Quran says we created people. I mean, we developed them. It is not just suddenly. We believe that Adam and Eve were not the first people on this planet. Okay, they were two separated people put in a garden in the Middle East. That's a different story. But things like these that some people start to question. Okay. We don't question it because we believe that that's not exactly how people understand it. It is, because Quran says in many verses that we created every creature from water, even the human being. It says that some walk on 2 feet. Let me see.
Yeah, but we're not fully water. We're 70% water.
No. It doesn't say that we are fully water or 70. It says we are created from water. So every creature, we know that every creature on this planet is created from water. Yes or no?
Well, that's easy to do. That's easy to find a pattern with, because every living thing needs water.
No, Sean, you don't understand. The way
don't need a vision. You don't need. It's not a very scientific. It's a scientific. It's like pattern recognition. It's like humans back in the day realized that everything needs water. Therefore, we're made of water. It's not really.
No.
Scientific.
No.
Well, it is scientific, but it's not that revolutionary.
No, Sean, I didn't say it is scientific or whatever. I said Quran says we were created from water. Okay, so it means that we are not all from Adam and Eve. I was on that part. Understand that we also are the result of the evolution. So Quran accept the evolution. Okay, do you understand?
Well, there's a lot of Muslims online that don't believe in evolution.
Yes, they don't believe. They are ignorant because they don't put verses beside each other to answer them. What does it mean this? When Quran says we created you in stages, okay, not like this. Stages means development, okay. So you have to answer these verses as well. They just know that Adam and Eve was created. They think that they were the first. So it makes us aliens, which is not possible. We are not aliens. We are from this planet. Okay.
It's funny. I was on it was either E.F. Dawa or Dawa Wise, and I asked them if the third generation was all born of incest. And they said, well, all of Adam and Eve's children were born in twins, a male and a female.
Mm-hmm.
And that so Cain's twin would have sex with Abel and Abel would have sex with Cain's twin, but they weren't the same generation because they were born hundreds of years apart or something. I was like, well, used between societal generations, which we take as 20 years, but familial generations are the same. Like my one sister was born in 66. I was born in 69. So we're Generation X, whereas my two brothers and other sister were born pre-65. So they're considered baby boomers. So we're not the same generation, but within the family, we're definitely the same generation.
Of course, yeah.
And I've also had a Muslim explain to me that the different races came from that whites are actually albinos, that the twins were albinos, and that's how the white race came to be. Whereas, of course, Adam they claim was black because he was made of black clay. So, but I have had another Muslim tell me what you're saying is there were already people on the planet when Adam and Eve came to the planet.
Because
he couldn't tell me if those people had souls or not. That he was saying they were kind of like soulless people. But I think in Islamic mythology, the jinn occupied the earth first.
No, I mean,
Iblis was actually sent down to straighten out the jinn, and he did it. And then when God created Adam and Iblis would not bow to him, I think the 38th surah, that's when he got smited and sent to hell. But Allah gave him respite so he could try to convince humans to come to his way.
No, that's totally different, these stories. And the jinn, as you know, I don't believe even that those stories are just metaphoric. Yeah, I believe that they are metaphoric. And Satan is a system. Satan is not created by God. So, Muji, how do you feel about Trump likely striking Iran soon? It's not striking Iran. I don't want that he strike Iran. He has promised to strike their regime leaders and elements. And if he does, that's fine. Okay. So the mullahs must be afraid of something. Okay. Otherwise, they start to massacre people as they have done. Let me see. This hourglass says, I didn't share the video with everyone. I just posted it on Discord for Martin to see. Yeah, but anyway, you wrote that this is an evidence that MEK is demonic or something like that. And I was explaining in the beginning of the stream. You can go and watch it later. I don't want to repeat it again. I still say this MEK is super shady. I don't trust it. So I don't care that you don't trust it. You don't know anything, and you go share something from Al Jazeera, which is Qatari channel, and Al Jazeera is a part of Iranian regime. So, and then you want, it's stupid to bring your evidence from Al Jazeera. Okay.
So wait, are Qataris Sunni or Shia?
So they are Shia, but they are not that Shia like Iranian regime. They have good relation with everybody, with Shia, Sunni, Marxist, with the Christians. They have support among everybody. Okay, Sean?
When you talk about the Qataris now, or the Qataris?
No, the Qataris. Yeah, I thought you were talking about my organization. Yeah, no, Qataris are Sunnis, but there is even Hamas is Sunni, but Hamas is supported by Iranian regime. So when it comes to interest, they don't have any ideology, Mike. They have good relation with North Korea, which is Marxist, or Venezuela, So when it comes to business, then they don't have any ideology. So they are with anybody, with ISIS, with Taliban, or whoever. Yeah, Hourglass. Realistically, they don't have the logistics and manpower to take down IRGC and Iranian forces. Okay, Miss Gay, you are absolutely wrong, because if the West, Mike, in 2003, when USA and UK attacked Iraq, they bombed MEK as well, because Iranian regime asked them. So they killed more than 50 people, and then they took their weapons. And then despite MEK said, we do not have anything against you. This is our places. Please don't bomb us. We are here just to fight the Iranian regime. So anyway, they wrote a contract with MEK that we let you to leave, allow you to stay, but you have no right to fight Iranian regime with weapon. And they signed it so that they are not bound. And today they are asking USA to tear that agreement so that they can bring down the regime. But USA still hasn't done that. They haven't decided to bring down the regime. So if, Mike, if they tear that, agreement, I promise you, Ms. K, MEK bring down the regime, even not today is even faster. But before, I would tell you within 2-3 months, because when MEK, Mike, goes and kill the elements of Iranian government, people come out, they radicalize people with that, okay? And we have seen it in the past. By just killing some of the elements, people find a way, okay? That's why in their slogan, the logo, they have a star, Mike, okay? The star is what showing the way in the darkness, okay? So in such a darkness, they show the way to the people. Salaam alaikum, my dear brother. Salam Mashi, by the way. My dear brother, Mr. Tree, you haven't been here a very long time. Thank you, my dear brother.
I remember you saying, I think, didn't you say Rumsfeld came up with that strategy of disarming them? I don't get why you guys don't, I mean, do you have any channels to Trump? I mean, Trump did say he'll bomb the mullahs if they kill any protesters.
Yeah.
Like, how can you not get in contact with them and say, hey, we don't, you said earlier, we don't even need to arm you. You guys can arm yourselves. I'm not sure how. I mean.
Yeah. No, we can't do that. Yeah. That's on us. Yeah.
But say, hey, let's lift this restriction. Don't bomb our camps if we go after, the regime to topple them.
Yeah. The thing is that.
Then take the street protests. Hopefully,
Yeah, Mike.
You guys get killed, and then Trump actually does bomb them.
Yeah, but the thing is, Mike,
like
Trump
the Northern Alliance in Afghanistan.
Yeah, the thing is that, Mike, Trump hasn't decided yet to bring down the regime. At the same time that he says that if they shoot the people, we will attack them and so on. At the same time says that we are ready for negotiation with the regime that is falling. And in that 12 days war against Israel, Mike, Trump forced Israel to stop bombing, okay? And he said that I don't want regime change in Iran. He said it directly, in the camera. He said it, I don't want regime change in Iran. So as long as he hasn't decided that, okay, this regime has to go, he's not going to tear that agreement, okay?
Yeah, you never know what Trump's going to say one day to the next.
Yeah. Well, we will see. We have to wait but we are fighting anyway inside without weapon. Now it's a little bit different. People are fighting. Trump probably wants Pahlavi. No, he said that. In an interview now, yesterday or day before yesterday, people asked him, "Do you want to meet with Pahlavi?" And he said that no, I don't think it's a proper time as a president that I meet him so far. Okay, so he wants to see who is more powerful in this, revolution. So he's waiting to see if Pahlavi become very powerful. Maybe yes, but the thing is that he's not going to become.
Yeah, it's strange when we grabbed up Maduro. That was quite the deal, and we didn't bring the opposition check in.
Yeah.
So he was too weak.
Yeah.
I still don't know what we're doing with Venezuela or how that's going to work out, but that was apparently we got to Maduro right as he was trying to close the door in a safe room.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what kind of defenses these guys have. I guess our choppers came in pretty low, and then our fighters took out the radar.
Will Trump take over the oil in Iran too if he wants to give them freedom?
Give them free. He cannot do
it. He would ask for a lot of payment probably from whoever if we install a puppet, if like it's Operation Ajax all over again.
Yeah,
the British had most of the oil fields in Iran in '53.
Exactly. No, the thing is that if they install, for example, this guy, then they will ask a lot of favor in return. Yeah, let's say, for example, you have to give your oil only to us in 50 years, for example, something like that. Understand? So if they install somebody there, then of course they would rather want something, an agreement. But the thing is that that's why they haven't decided yet to give any support to my organization, because my organization will not agree with such a things at all, never. And they rely on their own fight.
Well, it's ironic. I just looked into it actually. I know in 2003 when we invaded Iraq and took over, the Chinese and the Indonesians won most of the oil contracts. We're just now, ExxonMobil is just now getting back into the oil game in Iraq. Mm-hmm. Everybody says we stole their oil, and it's like, well, why didn't we have cheaper gas till now? I think Kuwait maybe repaid us from the first Gulf War when we liberated them. Mm-hmm. But again, I mean, oil, gas was what, $1.35 in the early 90s. But it seems for all this oil we're stealing, we don't get real cheap gas prices.
Mm-hmm. I have to answer this comment by Miss Kay, said that either way, Muji, Trump want back a socialist group like MEK. Okay, and then especially if you won't sell out the oil. The thing is that, Miss Kay, MEK has been supported by even more conservative than Donald Trump, who Mike Pompeo, let me see, his advisor in last term, his name was, I forgot his name. He was kicked out by Trump. He wrote a book even against Trump.
You talking about the vice president, Mike Pence?
No. He was not Mike. Mike Pence has supported.
Scaramucci.
Wait. Mike Pence has supported. Mike Pence has supported MEK. Mike Pompeo has supported MEK. His current foreign minister has supported MEK. Even
you showed a video of John Bolton. He wrote a book.
Yeah, John Bolton, exactly. John Bolton is quite conservative, and he has been supporting MEK in many years. Even in that documentary movie that Al Jazeera was showing, he was talking, in one of our Congress. So it is not about MEK is a left group or doesn't give them oil or such things. It's about that their interest become, the same as our interest. Their interest is that Iranian regime that is making nuclear weapons supporting our terrorist group goes. Okay, so their interest is there, and we both want Iranian regime go, and they want somebody bring down this regime. They don't want to bring it down themselves because they don't want to put boots on the ground. Iran is not Iraq. Iran is much bigger and so on. So that's why they start to support MEK, because so it is not always that they get what they want. Okay, sometimes they have to give, Mike. Sometimes they have to say, okay, we cannot bring down this regime ourselves, and this regime is dangerous for us, so we have to give up something in return that we get a safer Middle East. Okay, yes, Miss Kay. Sean?
Didn't Venezuela support Iran or something? I heard.
Yes. They were very close allies. Yeah, and then Hezbollah was, having food there as well. They wanted to bring these terrorists in U.S. backyard and so on. Yeah.
Well, just by the way, John Bolton is like John McCain. There's no war he hasn't supported.
By the way,
John Hawk by
By the way, John McCain. McCain went all the way from Washington, despite he was sick, all the way to Albania to meet with our elected president and our members, and he supported our. So, Miss Kay, there are, such a miracles happens that they finally realize that, okay, this regime has to go, and they cannot, get everything, a puppet regime there. So they have to support a democratic, alternative. Yeah.
Well, you got to watch out. We support democracy until you elect people we don't like. Gaza elected Hamas, so
yeah, you did a lot of that in South America.
Yeah, we didn't like Noriega going in there. We don't like Maduro or Chavez. I mean,
yeah, but that
was a good election or not, but Chavez certainly was. He was extremely popular.
But I think
never actually won an election, but
yes, not always you can support such a democracy. That's not democracy if people go and vote for what is it, Adolf Hitler, for example. In Europe, Mike, people of Austria, they voted for I don't know, the right-wing guy, and entire Europe sanctioned them, and then he was forced to resign. I don't remember his name was George Haider, something like that. Do you remember that? Yeah.
No, I know the Italian chick that just got voted in. They considered to be very right wing, and the EU was looking at maybe doing something to Italy, but I guess she tamped things down. Who's the Hungarian guy they don't like in Europe? Orban.
Oh yeah.
They don't like Orban over in the EU, but he's extremely popular. Yeah, it's funny. People, oh, you guys like democracy. Well, democracy, like all things, has to have guardrails. We have a democracy that also has a constitution attached to it. So, a lot of people don't like Trump and stuff and what he's doing, and some would say he stepped over the line here or there. But you can't become a total dictator just by popular vote. I mean, first of all, we have term limits after FDR got elected 4 times. He didn't follow Washington's example of stepping down after being president twice, so we got that.
Yeah, Iran should copy the Constitution of America, simple as.
No, we don't need to copy anything. We will do have our own constitution, but it's not going to be far from that constitution, because it is democratic then, but there will be some changes, differences, of course. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's funny, because I mentioned the Arab Spring earlier, and you mentioned Tunisia. As I recall, Tunisia, they elected an Islamic government at first, and they got too Islamic. So then they elected a more secular one, and I think the first one began with an E, like Intanada. But anyway, they had a peaceful transfer of power. I thought, hey, this Arab Spring might actually work. Here was the one country that's coming out of it. Obviously, Morsi got elected in Egypt, and he was too Islamic for him. So the army came out, and Sisi took back over, put the army back in charge. Jordan never actually had anything. I guess they liked their king, Abdullah II. But I thought, hey, Tunisia, it's only 10,000 people. The French had kind of secularized it, as a colony. And then this new guy comes in and he disbands the parliament, and he's been in charge for 10 years now or something? No vote or no nothing. So in Iraq, I mean, has anybody revisited Iraq? I know we bombed the hell out of them. We got depleted uranium causing birth defects and all sorts of bad stuff, but they seem to be somewhat democratic. Of course, they now passed a law saying 9-year-old girls can be adults and you can marry them because they're following the Prophet Muhammad's terrible example. But
they follow Bukhari.
They seem to be doing all right, right? You don't hear much out of Iraq. They're not bombing the shrines anymore in Kabbalah, blowing up the Green Dome.
Yeah, because the Iranian regime is now almost weak there. They are throwing out Iranian regime, disarming their Shia groups. Okay, so that's why Iranian regime doesn't have control to blow up such a thing.
Well, but it was the Sunnis blowing up the Shias during Ashura when you guys congratulate yourselves. Well,
Mike,
cut themselves with the swords. They're whipping themselves.
No, Mike.
Right? Isn't the the shrine of Hussein
Yeah.
or Hassan?
Yeah, no, the thing is that
all these kids was in Kabbalah. They blew it up.
Mike, listen to me, please. They blew up their own shrine in Mashhad, the biggest shrine in Iran. They blew it up and blame my organization. 3 years later, 3 years later, when Khatami, the so-called reformist president, took the power, they started to fight each other, these reformists and the hardliners. And it came out that the Iranian regime, the secret police of Iran, blew up Mashhad, okay, to blame my organization and the Sunni Muslims because they wanted to oppress Sunni Muslims. So in Iraq as well, it was American general also revealed it. I can find it. He was also talking in one of my organization's, rallies, and he said that as long as it was under the Sunni control, Mike, it was safe. When the Shia took the power, they blew it up because they changed it to these Shia militants and they brought explosive from, he explained it very well, and they blew it up because Iranian regime wanted to create a sectarian fight, Mike, between Shia and Sunni to make it, impossible for USA and UK to control Iraq, okay? So they have all this crazy idea as well. Then anyway, about the Prophet Muhammad, you said that's not Prophet Muhammad. They follow Bukhari, it is their prophet is Bukhari. Stop talking to people who insult the prophet. I talk to anybody I want, okay? So, and I explained for, yes, it is Bukhari and such people who insult Prophet Muhammad, and Mike doesn't know, he see them, yes, Mike, you think that they are the main Islam, yes? So what shall I do? I have to try to tell Mike that Bukhari was a great liar, okay? And you cannot trust the Bukhari because he was a great liar in many ways. All right, so let me see. The original Arabic.
But how do you know? How do you know he's
wait,
a liar?
Wait. Does not say when sexual intercourse. Come on, to marry a 6-year-old is itself, terrible. When it happened, okay, not 9.5. Sean, why I say he's a liar, because Bukhari said Prophet Muhammad split the moon, and that's a great lie. Prophet Muhammad didn't have a single miracle. It is in the Quran. Many verses in the Quran says, oh Muhammad, you don't need miracle. Okay, Sean? So the source is a liar already. If you accept that he married a 6-year-old child, then you have to accept that he split the moon as well, because the same source says that, okay? This was explained by Sheikh Atabek. Okay, can you call in and explain it, please? Do you think showing Persian painting of Muhammad is an insult? Anyway.
Moonji, maybe.
What do you mean with that? What do you mean with that, Mike?
So there was a case here in America, in Minnesota.
Yeah.
At Hamline University in an art history class. The art history professor showed 2 paintings of Muhammad. One, his face was just like a white veil.
Yeah.
It was a Persian painting. You guys, the Persians don't mind painting Muhammad, and it showed his face.
Yeah.
And
it's not Persian. It's not Shias. Shias do that.
Shias do it, right. So anyways, I didn't realize trigger warnings were an actual thing, but apparently in her syllabus, she gave a trigger warning. And even before the class, she said, I'm going to show a painting of Muhammad. So if anyone's going to be offended, please leave the class. Mm-hmm. Well, the Somali girl stayed. She saw it. And then CAIR, the Council on American Islamic Relations, had like an hour-long press conference calling it Islamophobia and blasphemous and blah, 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 all this stuff. And the professor got fired. But of course, she's since sued and probably got a good chunk of money over it. But this is how Islam is now invading secular America to some degree. I don't know if you've heard about the whole Somali fraud in Minnesota.
No, I haven't heard.
Well, They think the Somalis have siphoned off about $9 billion in fraud out of Minnesota. CNN did a snippet where they showed in 2017, Minnesota spent like $1.1 million on autistic kids. By 2024, it was 200 million. So apparently all the Somali kids are autistic. The Somalis set up all these organizations. There's all these child care things and stuff that this Nick somebody it went viral. But anyways, they're looking into it, and it seems like the Somalis have a huge just ring of fraud going. And it's funny because a buddy of mine, he works for Oracle, and about 2 weeks ago, I texted him something about a bike, but he's like, "Oh, I'm flying to Minneapolis right now." I said, "Well, watch out for the Somalis." And he goes, "Okay." And then he calls me back. He's like, "Well, my Uber driver from the airport was a Somali, and then my Uber driver back was a Somali. And I normally don't talk to Uber drivers, but these guys were asking me where I was from and blah, blah, blah." So he started talking to him. He said, so they have, and I forget the word, they have a concept about, like when one Somali makes it up in society, you should pull more Somalis up with you. And he says it's a lot like, and I thought he was going to say the Jews, but he said he was actually married to a South African, an Afrikaner 20 years ago. He said it's the same as the Boer term, that, they're very clannish, very tribalish. So when one guy's successful, you're supposed to, pull the other Somalis up with them. Which, of course, if you're white people, they call you racist for doing that. But we don't want to get too much into the woke thing.
No.
Yeah. So anyways, you can Google Somali fraud in Minnesota. Now they're looking into, there's an Ohio community of Somalis. And of course, they come from Africa. So there's a lot of corruption in Africa. It actually reminded me of years ago, I think it was in the 90s, in LA, they found all these Russian immigrants were on welfare. They're receiving food stamps and all welfare payments. And they finally raided their homes. The one couple owned a jewelry store. They drove Mercedes, but they were on welfare.
Oh,
and they had like $30,000 in cash in their sock drawer, And the Russians were like, "Well, listen, if the government's going to give me money, I'm going to take it. Don't blame me. You're the idiots giving me free money, And I think it was on 60 Minutes. And they're like, "Well,
why did Elon Musk find this fraud? Is it because it's a state fraud? It's not federal fraud?"
Well, I think it's mostly state fraud, but I mean, it's funds come from the federal government to the states to feed welfare programs and whatnot. You don't get your food stamps from the federal government, but the federal government's the one who pays for them. But there's been whistleblowers since like 2015. I mean, it was under Trump's first administration. There were guys saying, "Hey, this doesn't look right. How is it this thing increased, exponentially in 2 years? How are there all these kids in childcare all of a sudden? The population of children couldn't have gone up this much in a year."
Yeah, it's Tim Walz. I heard Tim Walz is getting fired now. He's gone, isn't he? Tim Walz.
He's not running for re-election. He's not going to run for re-election now. He's stepped down. He's not out of office, but he's got an election coming up in 2026. I guess I would assume it's this year.
I have to say something to this Elijah. I do not believe that she was 9 or such things. I believe that Aisha was 21, and there are different narration that when you calculate them, she was minimum 19 to 21. And I do not believe that Prophet Muhammad had any sexual intercourse with any of his wives except the first one, Khadija, because he didn't have children with any of them. He had many widows as wives as well. Many of them, they were widows, and they could get pregnant if he, slept with them. There was no any, prevention those times. So why he didn't have children with those wives? Because he simply didn't have any relation. He married them for a reason, the reason to help the society. As the Quran says, Mike, in that verse.
Who gave birth to Fatima?
It was Khadija, first wife.
Khadija?
Yeah.
Wasn't she 40 when he married her? She already had like 5 kids?
I don't know if she had already 5 kids, but Fatima, because it is in the Quran as well, Mike, that Arabs were saying, it is chapter Al-Kawthar, that Arabs were saying that you don't have a son, you are without offspring, okay? And then Allah says that you have the gushing spring because he had a girl, yeah? And that was Fatima. That you have
Googled it, and it says was given birth to by Ruma.
Ruma.
R-U-M-A. Who was the mother of Aisha?
What?
Oh, sorry, Aisha. Wrong one. Fatima.
Wrong one,
Aisha's daughter.
Yeah.
But it says Khadija. Who gave birth to Imran? Like, was that Maria the Cop when he died on the eclipse?
This is not reliable because I do not believe that he had slave and such things. Okay, and what I know is that he had and according to the Quran, he had just a daughter, Mike. Okay, because Arab were calling him. Let me find the chapter. Arab were calling him without offspring because he didn't have a son. So he didn't have a son.
Okay. Well, most of the history I've read, it says Ibrahim was born by Maria the Cop, and he died on the day of an eclipse. Muhammad said people thought that was God did the eclipse because of his death. He said, no, God doesn't do that or something.
Quran Surah. Sorry, let me see. Kawthar, okay. Let me see. Surah.
I thought he had several children that died in childhood.
I know that he was just having children with Aisha. With Khadija. In the name of most version, indeed we have granted you, O Prophet, abundant goodness. That's the chapter. Let me share it so that we can read it together. Share screen. This is chapter 108 of the Quran. Indeed, we have granted you, O Prophet, abundant goodness. Okay. Goodness is not actually, Kawthar is spring, a gushing spring. So pray and sacrifice to your Lord alone. Only the one who hates you is truly cut off from any goodness. It's not that. It's without, it is only 3 verses in this chapter. This is a wrong translation. Let me go to Islam Awaken, actually. We have different translation. Islam Awaken, chapter 108.
Yeah, Moonji, when is your translation coming out? We got a lot of wrong translations going on here.
Yeah. This what was that? That channel Quran. What was that? That's a terrible translation. They put things in bracket. When my organization get the power, we will give our translation. Let me see, 108 here. Let's see. We have given you all that is good in abundance. Given you abundance. Let me see next. So pray to your Lord and sacrifice for him. Your enemies is the one who is cut off. Okay, you see the other one says without offspring. Mike, you see Muhammad? The middle one says without offspring. This is exactly what the verse says in reality. All right? Because they were saying that you are without offspring. Do you understand, Mike?
Yep. Without offspring.
Because he didn't have a son. And God says in reality, my organization take this one as well to say that women are equal to men. Okay, that God bringing up girls as a gushing spring. That Kausar means gushing spring, not goodness, as they have translated as. What is it?
Yeah, it's
Next.
It's strange to not count your girls as offspring.
Mm-hmm. So that's the true translation and interpretation. Actually, you have to say that. So anyway, he had only a daughter. Okay, according to the Quran, right? He didn't have a son because people were telling him that you are without offspring. So these are stories that he had, a slave and he had a son with her and he died, such a thing. They have made a lot of stupid stories like this.
Yeah. Well, just to let you know, Google says he had 3 sons.
Yeah, but why then? Then you have to ask them why this chapter came out if he had 3 sons.
That's a good one. What was that chapter again? Give it to me.
Chapter 108.
108.
Prophet Muhammad had 7 children, 3 sons. Okay, yeah. But somehow the chapter says that he didn't have a son because Arabs were like.
Sure. Therefore, pray to your Lord and make a sacrifice. Surely your enemy is one who shall have. They'll be without posterity. What translation are you reading? Because this doesn't say anything about.
Yeah, that's why.
Right?
Yeah, that was what I told you, that not all translation are good. Let me see. I went to islamawaken.com. Islamawaken.com. Okay. And then let me see. Where was that?
Who is Kausar?
I don't know who's that. From where you get it?
It's capitalized. This is from Browse the Quran. It's the University of Michigan's translation.
Okay.
I'll post it in the chat here. Hopefully it'll let me get you. Yeah, it's only 3 verses, so it should fit.
Yeah, it is. Okay, here it is. 108. Yeah. So I got this translation. There are different translations here. Muhammad, they say, surely we have given you the abundance. All right, that's the first verse. Then
so Kausar is an Arabic name meaning abundance or plenty, often referring to a sacred river in paradise promised.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, it's referring to a spring in paradise. Yes, something that is running always. Yes, Mike, something that is running always. It's not, without. It's not stop. There is no stop in it. So pray to your Lord. Yes, I don't know about Zamzam, but I know that it's a spring. Yeah. So pray to your Lord and slaughter the sacrifice. Surely your antagonist is he who is your enemy. Yes, your enemies.
Not Muhammad's with.
Yes, so who is without offspring? Yeah. You see, this is the middle one. Muhammad says offspring, and that's the correct. Abtar. In Arabic, it is called.
It's saying your enemy will be without offspring, not.
Because they have sons. They were telling him that you don't have son. That's why you are without offspring. Yeah. Abtar. Abtar in Arabic is this word. I don't know if you see this one, the last one, Abtar. Okay, and that's translated as offspring. All right. So
but they're not saying surely you will be without offspring. It's saying your enemy will be.
Yeah, because they have sons. Why they are without offspring? Because they have sons. But you have a daughter, so you are with offspring. So Allah compare his daughter, which was Fatima, with Kausar. Kausar is that spring, gushing spring which you mentioned. Okay. So you have a daughter which is equal to that spring. So that's why the verse is mentioning that he had just a daughter.
Okay, well, that's an interesting interpretation of that translation.
Yeah, because
lost me.
Yeah, because it is. Yeah, because they were saying him that you are without offspring. Yeah, you are without offspring. Why? Because he didn't have a son, Mike. Okay, that you know that son was very important for Arabs, even for
Iranians. I remember.
Yeah, not only.
It would have been 1981 or 1982. My dad had bought this 9-unit apartment building, and this Iranian came to rent it. And first, he wouldn't rent it because there was a refrigerator from Sears in it. And Sears, Roebuck, they were Jews. He didn't want to live with a Jewish refrigerator. But I remember when he came down, me and my brothers were down there working, and he goes, "Oh, these are your 3 sons?" And my dad goes, "Yes." He goes, "Oh, you're very rich to have 3 sons." My dad goes, "Well, I got 2 daughters too." And he's like, "Okay, but you got 3 sons." He was very impressed with them having 3 boys.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I was saying I'll have to answer this one as well later about this Aisha, that he doesn't want to believe that Bukhari was a liar, so he tried to fit it with his his moral. Anyway, so I have to say about that chapter, that a chapter came out because of that thing, that people were calling him without offspring because he didn't have a son, Mike. Okay, and I was saying that yes, son was very important, not for Arabs, even in India and many countries, Mike, because sons were those who were fighting, those who were helping in farms and such things. So sons were very important for people in the past. So for Arabs, they were also very important. Girls were trouble. They wanted to bury them even, they were burying them alive. So that's why they were telling him that, oh, come on, you are without offspring. You don't have a son. And that's why that chapter came down. And it makes sense. Yes or not, Mike? Yeah?
Well, again, it says your enemy will not have offspring.
Yes. Your enemy they don't have, because they don't have girls. Okay. They just, those who have boys, and those who think they bury their daughters alive. So
sure, they didn't have pre-Islam. That's one of the things.
Yeah. They were very
to improve things. The Arabs would bury their daughters so they don't disgrace their house. That's still why you have, honor killings throughout the Islamic world and other places as well. But that the family is carried with their daughter, and if they go out and have sex outside of marriage, you got to kill her.
Yeah, that wasn't the reason they were doing that. The reason was that they were just trouble. Even in India, Mike, in India, girls are trouble. That's why they bury them alive now today. Okay, and they don't have honor killings in India. Do you know that they bury their daughters alive in India still today? Do you know?
I know they have burning brides. If you don't give enough dowry, the in-laws set the bride on fire. I think like 5 women are burnt to death.
No. Search, Mike. Search. In the past 20 years, 10 million girls have been killed before or after birth in India because they are just girls, because of their gender. Okay. So I have to say, my point is, even if this story was true, people who do this today don't follow his example because it was a political marriage and she was more physically developed than other females. No, this is trash, that physically developed. She was a child. If that story is true, then she was a child. And the story is saying as well that he had intercourse with her at night. So please either accept one way or reject it the other way. Like I say, Bukhari was a great liar. Okay. So you cannot accept a part of it, and so on. No. If you have to reject it totally, because Bukhari was a liar. He was a great enemy of Islam. Every Islamophobe on this planet want to attack Islam, they bring Bukhari. Every one of them, because he was a great enemy of Islam. Yes.
No, but how could you say that splitting the moon is wrong if there was loads of witnesses for it? Where's the scientific evidence for you?
Sean, please. They didn't say that it was wrong. I say it didn't happen. Please, when I talk, understand it first before you making some claim. I said Prophet Muhammad didn't split the moon at all. He didn't have a single miracle because Quran says so. Okay, do you understand, Sean?
But he did get a miracle from didn't he get visions from God to talk about the Quran?
No, he met.
That's a miracle.
No, that's not a miracle. Miracle is making possible the impossible. Like Moses had a miracle. He was dropping his stick, and that's impossible that the stick becomes a snake. That's a miracle. He opened the sea with his stick. That's a miracle because it's impossible. Jesus had miracle. He brought back death. He resurrected them. Yeah, that's impossible. Or he breathed to a clay bird and became alive. These are miracles. Okay, not talking to an angel. All right, all prophets talk to angels, but not all of them had miracles. Just few of them had miracles. All right, Sean. So miracles are these things that you show to people. Nobody saw the angel Gabriel. So miracles was something that you, Mike, am I right or not? Miracle was something that you should show people so that people accept you. That was the miracle. Miracle was coming for that. But nobody saw Gabriel. Yes, Mike? That wasn't a miracle.
Yeah, I would say speaking to an angel is a miracle, but if you believe it's possible that people speak to angels, then it wouldn't be a miracle by definition.
No, not only that.
It's funny because many Muslims say Muhammad performed no miracles, but he split the moon. I think it would be a miracle to go to hell and to heaven and the night journey.
No. Those none of them happened. Yes. The thing is that none of them happened. Okay. And to go to hell. Prophet Muhammad, Quran says you haven't seen the unseen. Hell, heaven, these are unseen. Okay, Mike can read it and write it. Who is that? Read it and write it.
Revolution can read and write Arabic. He posted a comment in Arabic, and I said, "Can you read it? Can you speak Arabic?" He responded, "I can read and write it." So.
Okay. So anyway. All right, this is two different accounts from the same person, yeah? Okay. Anyway, or two different, whatever. So I was saying that those things never happen, Mike, okay? Journey, because Quran says that tell people that you do not know the unseen. And hell, heaven is unseen, Mike, okay?
Wait, didn't Muhammad go in a chariot to heaven from the place in Israel there?
No, he didn't. That was only Quran says a trip from Mecca to Jerusalem over a night, and that's many believe that it was just a vision. Okay, it wasn't something that a real trip. Okay.
Yeah, and it wasn't a chariot. It was a flying horse type animal, smaller than a horse but bigger than a donkey.
Yeah, that's the journey to hell, heaven.
Burak.
Burak. These are, as I say, these are stupid stories by Bukhari and such people who didn't understand that if you want to go to heaven, God doesn't need to put you on a donkey, flying donkey. Yeah. He can just transfer you. Yes, Mike? Yeah?
Yeah.
He just can transfer.
Send Pegasus, but,
he doesn't need
it. Existed from the Greeks, so maybe it got handed down.
At least he should send, what is it? Spaceship.
The spaceship, right?
Yeah, at least you should send that one, not a donkey, because the moment you go up, both the donkey and Prophet Muhammad both will die from lack of oxygen.
Well, so that's probably why Sean said a chariot. He might be thinking of Elijah, who flew up to heaven in a fiery chariot. And if you ever watch Ancient Alien Theorists, they say, those are spaceships. Or Zoroastrian, the Zoroaster guy, He's often pictured with like kind of a round wheel with flaming wings going around him. They said, "Oh, it's a flying saucer." See.
All right, I have to answer these. How much of Bukhari and Muslim, Sahih Muslim, trash, I call them trash, do you consider reliable? I say I haven't read everything in them. Anything that goes in line with the Quran, okay, and makes sense, all right, so you have to accept it, whether it was from Prophet Muhammad, from a companion, from a politician, or whoever. So you don't have to just stick on something that is from the Prophet of God. But if it goes in line with the Quran, it doesn't contradict the Quran, it makes sense as well, okay, then, okay, you can accept it, no problem. Even if it wasn't from Prophet Muhammad and it was from somebody else said that this is from Prophet Muhammad. For example, I can say, the pleasure you get in forgiveness, you never get it in revenge. Okay? So this is attributed to Prophet Muhammad. All right? So I agree on that because it goes in line with the Quran. Quran, in many verses, Quran say, forgive, forgive, forgive. Okay? So I don't have to be sure that this is from Prophet Muhammad. From whomever it is, it goes in line with the Quran. Yeah.
Wait, so how do you know that Muhammad wrote the Quran? Because he didn't know how to write. So did he just say it, and then people wrote for him?
Yeah. He just said it. He just heard it and then brought it to people and said it, that Angel Gabriel told me this, and then they memorized it as well. Not only write it down, but they memorized it. So when they were, compiling the Quran, putting it in one book, then those who memorize the Quran, they should read it and say, yes, it is correct. That's why they couldn't enter any extra verses in the Quran, like stoning adulterers and sucking an adult, such things. So they came up later with fabricated hadiths that, the verse came down but was eaten by a goat, okay? So because they couldn't enter it, because the companion of the Prophet would not allow it. And that's why the Quran says Allah will protect the Quran, and he really protected it from these corruptions. There is one God, yes. And he has his prophets and messengers, okay? Who is that?
What do you think about this pre-puberty? You're allowed to marry a girl who's pre-pubescent. Quran 65:4.
Verse 4, yeah, but that's a stupid translation or interpretation. It's not. The first of all, Sean, it says your women, so it's talking about women. Women and children are separated in the Quran. When Allah says in the Quran, why you do not fight for men, women, and children who cry out for help. So separation between women and children there. And so the verse says, your women who have passed the age of menstruation, their waiting period is 3 months, and those who, is making 3 different categories, and those who haven't seen their menstruation. Why they haven't seen their menstruation? Because of some irregularity, some disease, some problems, okay? They are women, but they haven't seen their menstruation. Their waiting period is also 3 months short. If they are pubescent girls, then they don't need to wait 3 months, Sean, because pubescent girls don't get pregnant. They can marry day after, right away. They don't need to wait 3 months, okay? So it is not about pubescent girls, Sean. This is a stupid idea that some people change the interpretation to create confusion. As chapter 3, verse 7 says, there are precise verses in the Quran and unspecific verses. The precise verses are the foundation of the book. As for those whose heart is corrupted, they follow only the unspecific verses to create confusion, desiring their own interpretation, despite no one knows the true interpretation of those verses except God and those firm in knowledge. And chapter 4, verse 6, Sean, says that when your children reach the age of maturity, then marry them off. And so age of maturity is every rational person knows that age of maturity is not 8, 9, 10, and such things. It's over 18, because even 18 is not, for me, mature enough to take care of family. Okay, they have to be wise enough to take care of a family, mature enough. All right. So if anybody doesn't understand that a child is not mature enough, it's his problem, not Quran's problem. Because Quran says when they reach the age of maturity, a child is not mature enough to take care of children. And that stupid guy, was his name, Daniel Isis Jew. He says that, they have to start as soon as possible to be productive. He thinks that we are animals. We just have to produce. Okay. We are in a hurry to produce. We don't produce animals. We're supposed to produce humans. A child cannot grow a human.
Well, I kind of agree with him as an atheist, but I don't agree with overpopulation. We're still animals, though.
Yeah, but
I kind of agree with him with that one.
No.
Everything.
No, he's an animal. He's thinking from a mind of animal, Sean. Okay, yeah, he's animal, and he's thinking like an animal, Sean. Okay, but we don't think like animals.
I think we're all animals, but some of us have worse morals. It's subjective.
No, listen, Sean. We are all animals, I accept, but we have learned to not think like animals. Some people haven't learned like that. Okay, am I right, Mike? Yeah, we have learned to think.
I agree with you 100%. It's very ironic though, because 90% of the Muslims I talk to will say, well, it was different back then. Young girls, helped raise their siblings, and they could cook and they could clean. Therefore, they were mature enough. And I say, a 9-year-old girl could be a full-grown woman. I was Yemeni front. I was on Yemeni front. I said, so you don't take lessons. He said, no, you go from childhood to adulthood. You guys are crazy.
Yeah, he's a crazy guy.
I mean, look up like obstetric fistula, and the increased peril of childbirth for females under 15 is just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
That the creator would know this. The creator would know. I don't care if you're a 10-year-old and you're 5'6",
mm-hmm.
you're not developed. I mean, Michelle was like 6'1" when she was 13 playing golf or something, but she wasn't an adult woman.
No. I tell you.
You can even get into brain development that modern MRIs are showing the human brain is not fully developed until age 26. But
yeah, exactly.
Physical development, the pelvis, and all these different things. Childbirth is going to be extremely dangerous for a 9-year-old, 10-year-old, 12, 13, 14. You start getting to 15, 16, you can start making the argument that it's not so bad. But
yeah. I mean, this is stupid.
It's ridiculous. And
Muslims
defend it up and down. I mean, you can Yosef Estes,
I know.
TV guy, Zakir Nadir, or whatever.
Because as I said,
Arabia on the heat, they develop quicker.
Stupid. Mike, I tell you, their God is Bukhari. So Bukhari, even when Quran say there is no compulsion in religion, Quran is wrong. Bukhari is right. No, that's not. That doesn't mean that that's about non-Muslims. And then another side, they say that when we take over your land, you have to convert to Islam or else we kill you. Yeah. So even that one, they are lying. That's not about Muslims. If you leave Islam, we will kill you. So these people are their God is Bukhari. They don't believe in the Quran. They don't follow the Quran. When the Quran says, when your children reach the age of maturity, then they have to look at Bukhari, what Bukhari says, because Quran is wrong. Understand? And then you said about, development of 25 or 6, you said, yeah? So for me, myself, Mike, if I see a 20-year-old female on the street, I would never say I saw a woman. I would say I saw a girl. Okay, still for me is a girl, not 20 years. I would say yes, over 25. I would say I saw a woman. Okay, 25, 30. I wouldn't say 20. I would say I saw a girl. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, I would think 20 would be being I would say a young woman. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Young
woman.
Young woman, but
Yeah.
mostly we would say a girl. Okay, well, or I don't know. Mostly I would say I saw a girl. I mean, naturally for me, over 25, I would say, if she looks like, over 25, I would say I saw a woman.
Right.
Mostly I would say.
It is funny because, you have the whole feminists get upset if you call a young woman a girl, and then you have women who don't want to be called women. They have girls out.
Yeah, I know. But anyway,
Best just to be silent around the women. Don't ever.
Yeah, why do people call woman baby? Like, that's weird. When they call your girlfriend my baby, it's kind of pedophilic there.
I don't know. But anyway,
the Puerto Ricans will call you Papi, which means like daddy. Yeah, women. Hey, daddy. Go. Yeah, that's even weirder.
Miss K, I don't know what is that hadith. Mukhanat in hadith. Mukhanat. There are lots of hadiths. I don't know. I mostly, know
that like
Quran.
Miss Kate, is that like transgender people? The Mukathanan? My battery's dying here. I didn't see exactly how she spelled that. I saw that on the E-Sheik one time, and he was saying that that's the result of jinn having babies with humans. You get the effeminate men.
Okay. So that if that's about jinn, then having any contact with human, that's a stupid one, because jinn are aliens for me. Okay, jinn are not on this planet. They are not human. They are totally from another a different creation, so they wouldn't be able to have any relationship with sexual relationship with human.
Well, if you read the book on the world of jinn and devils in the light of the Quran and Sunnah, your boy Abin Taymiyyah said it was common for jinn and humans to have sex. This was the first thing I ever asked going on a Dawa site on Hamza's Den, and they banned me right away.
Yeah, but the thing is that, Mike, it is so stupid that don't they think that we are from clay and jinns are from fire according to the Quran? Yeah. So we are totally different. It's like human has some, intercourse with, I don't know, let's say cow, and then the cow get pregnant, or the human get pregnant. I mean, this is something ridiculous to think like this, that this is even possible. Yeah. So
most religions are ridiculous to me. So
but the thing is that Mike. The thing is that these people are ridiculous. Yes, I'm saying that. Yeah, that they are stupid. They don't even think, because the Quran doesn't say anything about this. That jinns can have children with. And these people who write books, they just should write a lot of stupid things to write a book and then sell it. I don't know about jinn, but the effeminate men trans part is correct. What she says, you think, Mike?
Yeah, she's saying the translation of the word Mukuthathan is effeminate men. I just posted a link to the E-Sheik guy, who was one of the first things I read about jinn having sex with humans. He says if you don't say the magic words before you have sex with your wife, the jinn wrap it around your urethra and have sex with your wife. So, and then I copied out. Ibn Abbas said the epicents, Mukhannathon, are the sons of jinn. Allah and his messenger forbade that a man have intercourse with his wife during her menses. When he does, Shaitan is there before him. And then she is pregnant with him and will give birth to a Makuthan. And also he says, you got to say these magic words before entering life. That's another part there.
Yes. Anyway, these are...
It's possible for humans and jinns to have intercourse. And Al-Tahalabihi mentioned in his tafsir, that is the meaning of blah, 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 partner or jinn, wealth, children. Oh, yeah. Also, he quotes, 55, 56, of which men and jinn have not gone in. Now, I've been on EF Dawa told me that was the Urs, A-H-O-U-R-I, whatever, the virgins in heaven that you get. But the idea that men and jinn can have sex is...
Mike, these stupid people, they think, they even believe that black dogs are devil, okay?
Right.
So that's, I mean, how can you even think that they are clever at all? And Mike, your internet is somehow disconnected. Take care, guys. Going to eat? Yes. Thank you. Yourself. Sean?
So what he was talking about there is not in the Quran. It was hadiths, yeah?
Yeah, it was hadith that if you do this, you don't say this when you want to, have sex with your wife, then the jinn will have sex with her, and stupid things that people have written in there.
So you do believe in some hadiths, but it's only like rational ones.
No, when it goes in line with the Quran, and of course it has to be rational, okay? Because yes, anyway, these hadiths are not rational, and they don't go in line with the Quran, because nowhere in the Quran says that jinns can have anything. I mean, jinn, Sean, means invisible. Something that is invisible, it is called jinn. Okay? So why they are invisible, Sean? Because they are not on this planet. Okay? They are, they are creature of God, but we don't see them. Why we don't see them? If they are creatures, then they are material. They have to have a shape, and according to the Quran, they have believers, disbelievers. Okay, so they have to have a shape. So why we don't see them? Because they are not here. That's all. They are in other planets. God has many creatures. They are aliens. Yeah, it is a name for alien. I think the classical jurists knew about the risk of childbirth. They said the minimum age of marriage was 15. A female under 15 could only be married if she had the same height like a tall. I don't know. This is who told you such a things, Alija. Quran doesn't say about your weight, your age, your height. It says the age of maturity. Okay, so in that way you can understand, as a human being, a rational person, you can understand that this child or 15 or whatever is not mature enough for having family, taking care of family. Okay.
Well, in Islam, you're not allowed to have sex outside of marriage, yeah, or you'll get killed. No. Is that correct?
No, you don't get killed. There is something called flagging. Yeah, 100 lashes. But even that one is, I understand, in different way than others. Is because Allah wants that you bring 4 witnesses. Those witnesses, you cannot find them. So Allah make it impossible that you flag them, okay? Because you cannot find those witnesses at all. Because those witnesses have also 10 conditions. So Allah doesn't want us to punish each other, Sean. All right. And that's flagging.
Is that why a lot of Muslims don't have boyfriends and girlfriends in Islam? A lot of Muslims don't have boyfriends and girlfriends.
Yeah, that's why, because you have to have, it's after after marriage, you can have sexual relation. But you can have boyfriend, girlfriend, but you don't have to have sexual relation. Okay? For example, some people, when they want to marry, they make them like, you say it? It's, they marry, okay, but they don't have a relation until they have a wedding, okay? Mike, you know that, yeah? They marry, yes.
The Naka?
Yeah, they marry, but you have to wait until wedding night. So between marriage and wedding, there is a period so that you can, know each other, meet each other, go out and such.
Isn't that what Jesus said too? Was Jesus again for that as well?
I don't know, Mike. Mike knows better.
I don't recall Jesus saying anything about enter into a marriage contract, but then wait to know each other. I'm not sure what you're talking about. It's been a long time
because
since I read
the conservative Christians are big into that, not having sex before marriage.
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, but the thing is,
it's not allowed in any of the Abrahamic.
But
Jews, if you read Leviticus and whatnot, they'll stone the priest.
Yeah, the thing is that they stone you. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, they stone you. Yeah, but in Islam, as I said, Allah doesn't want you to punish people, but it says that 100 lashes.
It says, as for the fornicator and fornicatress, let not compassion with you keep you from carrying out this law of God. Lash each of them with 100 stripes.
Yeah, but the thing is that, Mike, that's for people who wanted to stone, Mike, okay? When it says that bring forth,
stoning,
but when he says that, okay, but bring 4 witnesses, okay, and he put this condition, it means that, like Jesus said, the one who has no sin cast the first stone, okay? He also put a condition that people couldn't pass. Not that he wanted that people stone that woman. He didn't want. So Allah doesn't want that we flag each other, but he has to show, of course, some kind of that, yes, I'm tough, but bring 4 witnesses, and then those witnesses must have 10 conditions that are impossible, actually, to meet. This is according to.
But if you go to the other Sunnis who like Bukhari, you can go to the 82nd book of Bukhari, where Omar is narrated as saying pregnancy is a form of proof. First of all, for stoning the adulterers, but also for lashing the fornicator. But it is ironic because Muslims will say, well, it's such a grave sin, that's why we stone or lash you. But then at the same time, it's impossible to prove. So the deterrent is kind of negated if you don't actually use it.
No, Mike, stoning, of course, absolutely not there. Stoning is a stupid, fabricated hadith, okay? But there are many intercourse that the person doesn't get pregnant. So, right. And you cannot even if the person get pregnant, then you cannot even prove that they had intercourse, because in those times you couldn't know that whose this child is, okay? And when
there was supposedly a Ghadi who ruled a woman had been pregnant for like 3 years because her husband showed back up after being on jihad for 3 years, and she had a baby. And it's like, well, maybe she got pregnant before you left.
Okay,
so it's a bizarre set of, we're trying to tamp down this behavior because it's so bad, but at the same time we don't implement the actual punishment.
No, that's ridiculous, because I tell you that it is not about that. It's even if somebody kill your relative, that's worse, Mike. Okay, but Quran says forgive. Okay, so Quran says forgive a murderer, but doesn't say forgive your wife that has cheated on you. You just divorce her, okay? That's all. If you don't want her, you just divorce her. Yeah, or I mean, you either forgive her or you divorce her. So there is no such a thing that I have the right to punish you because now, I don't believe in that, because I know Quran says many verses to forgive, forgive, forgive. Are there any Sunni preachers and YouTubers you like? I like a little bit, actually. A little bit Dr. Shabir. I'm not so, he's not the best, but he has some better ideas, yeah? But more, how do you say it, Mike? More, not conservative.
He's quite liberal. Yeah.
Yeah, more liberal. Exactly.
Yeah.
I was
he's
going
a Canadian. He's pretty liberal. He's Norman Ali Khan seems pretty liberal. He says the verses of the sword are all no longer applicable. I think he's gotten in a little trouble with a woman or something.
Mm-hmm. No, but exactly.
Abir Shabi is Let the Quran Speak.
Yeah.
Is his website is pretty funny. I think he's funny because Yasser Ghadi is somewhat liberal.
For me, he's also ignorant because they think that they say Sahih Bukhari still. Yeah, they cannot denounce this liar. Okay, so that's why. Yeah.
Did you see his thing on alimony? He was talking about modernizing Islam and allowing alimony, which is very un-Islamic.
Alimony. What is alimony?
It's when if you divorce your wife, you give her money so she can maintain her lifestyle. Okay. So in America, I think most of the Western world, women, men can get alimony from their wives. There's been a few guys who've married, celebrity women who are very rich and ended up getting divorced, and they get paid, $20,000 a month to maintain their lifestyle. Okay. But I guess if in Islam, is it you got to get divorced twice or something, and then the woman gets no support. And he was making an argument for modernizing that. He also, I don't know if you remember, speaking of like jinn, but Gog and Magog, he did a thing on, and Sean talked about scientists being atheists. He said there's a lot of Muslims who are going to college and they come back and they're like, I don't know how this Gog and Magog can exist. And they're leaving Islam over it. So, but you know what? Holes in the narrative thing that the other Muslims are very upset about.
Yeah, but the thing is that the Gog and Magog, I don't know what's the problem. Gog and Magog was two different tribes that were attacking people during the Zulkarnain, those time. Okay, right. And I have seen a video. Very nice video, very good video that they were those barbarians like Magog coming from Mongolian. Yeah, they were those people who were coming to this south, how do you call it, the Caucasus, those parts near the Caspian Sea. They were coming there and attacking. Sorry,
the Turks,
no, these they were. Yeah, those parts. Yeah, exactly, those parts, like Chechnya and those parts. Yeah, so these Mongolians and other people, perhaps from that area, they were coming and attacking these people all the time and taking their lifestyle and everything and going. So this is talking. Quran is talking about that, and I believe that we believe actually that Zulkarnain was Cyrus the Great, and he went there and built a dam for them. And there are still tracks from those, that he did. There are mountains called Kora Bora, and Kora is Kurosh. Kurosh in Persian is the name of Cyrus. Okay, we don't call him Cyrus, we call him Kurosh. So those mountains are also called in his name. And they were saying that in that video that even Russian, when they wanted to attack, I think Chechnya, what is it? That there is another country they were going to attack. They should consider Georgia. Yeah. They should consider these mountains, okay, and the pathway as well. and there was just one pathway, and that was the pathway that Cyrus was going to build the dam so that they don't attack anymore, these Gog and Magog. So that's a different things. Okay,
that's interesting because apparently have you seen the Orthodox Muslim?
I know him, yeah, but I haven't watched him. Yeah,
he says Delcamane was Alexander the Great.
So that's a stupid thing. You know why? Already, Mike, Zulkarnain was a monotheist. Alexander was a pagan. Okay,
right.
And in the Quran, Zulkarnain goes to the west and the east, Mike. Alexander only went to the east. He never went to the west, and he never went to the north, because Zulkarnain goes also to the north and build the dam. So for Zulkarnain, those Caspian Sea and those parts were the north. Okay, and he went to the east all the way to Egypt and today's Israel or Palestine, those parts. He went and occupied all those parts until he reached to the Mediterranean, that he saw that muddy sea and so on. So then he went to the east as well, to India, and occupied Pakistan, India, all those parts. So the only one who did it was Cyrus the Great, not Alexander. Alexander went only to the east, and on the way back he died. What do you think about Mufti Abu Layth? Mufti Abu Layth is, I like him. He's a nice guy. He has good ideas. Yes. Okay.
So you don't think Gog and Magog are still trapped behind the wall? They're digging at it.
No.
One day they're going to break out. And
no.
Locusts on the lands. They're going to drink up the Sea of Tiberias.
No. These are stupid things. You know why, Mike? Because Quran says, finally, my righteous people will rule and inherit the planet. So finally, we will live in a peaceful and loving world. Okay? Quran says as well, I promise that finally the oppressed will rule and inherit the planet. So that's the world that I believe that all the problems will disappear, because today the oppressors are ruling the planet. Today, the oppressors. But that day, the oppressed will rule and inherit the planet. So there will be no oppressed and no oppressors, Mike. Because if the oppressed become oppressors, then that's not a promise anymore. Okay? That's a stupid cycle of oppressors and oppressed. But this promise means that there will be no oppressed and no oppressors anymore. Okay?
Right. But the Shia believe, Allah will send a worm into their necks and kill all of Gog and Magog, and then necks like camels will pick them up and put them in the sea, and then rain will wash their blood away. And then I think it's Jesus and the Al-Mahdi will fight the Al-Dajjali and rule for 40 years.
Yeah. All these are ridiculous. No one will come, Mike. Okay, there will be no Jesus, Mahdi. Messiah, Mike, Messiah is I believe that it is a message, Mike. Okay, what is the message? The message is that there is a way out. Finally, we can be free from all this oppression. But if God was going to send somebody to do that, then he should have sent that Superman thousands of years ago, not let us to suffer so much. So I believe that we are ourselves the one who must liberate ourselves. We have to, fight for our a beautiful world, a world where we can all live in peace. And we have the guidance, okay, Mike? The guidance is there. The only thing that we have to believe in it, accept it, understand it, and then follow the guidance and get out of this jungle that we are living in. Okay?
Okay. Well, I'm going to drop off. I know you're on probably for another 12 minutes. I'll let you talk to Sean.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for being here, Mike.
I don't want to interrupt.
All right, bye. Nice to talk to you.
No problem. Thank you for being here.
Nice to be with you.
Yes. See you another time. Thank you. Take care. God bless you. Yeah, Sean, you have any questions in this story?
So that what he was talking about there was about the end of the world, right?
Yeah,
Gog and Magog.
Yeah, Gog and Magog. It's some ridiculous story that people, have read it in the Quran, but they make it, change and make it they make a lot of stories from that thing. And UAE will no longer sponsor their students in British universities because they become radical Islamist there. Okay, if they become radical Islamists, then they shouldn't support them. It will only get worse from now on. What will get worse from now on? What is those cigarettes? SK?
She talked about the end of the world.
No.
Jesus is coming back.
Yeah, okay. She says it get worse. Yeah, but I do not believe in that. I believe that there will be up, down, but we are towards up. We are towards the better world.
Do you think we'll be able to go to Mars and space and all that stuff and talk to aliens and become transhumans and robots everywhere and talk to angels and all that crap in the future? Probably, hopefully.
That we talk, and probably we will go to Mars. Yes. Definitely we try. Probably we will meet aliens, okay, probably in the future. But other stuff I didn't understand. What was that? What was
you think like we'll get more visions? You think that religions will be changing and we'll get more visions and miracles and wars and
no, I believe that
religious people do.
Yeah, I believe that as the Quran promises, everybody will understand the true message of the Quran, and they will follow that, because the true message of the Quran is equality, okay, that we live in peace and love one another, okay, take care of each other. We live in an equal world, okay. So I believe that future will be that, and that's a promise in the Quran, and that's why we are created on this planet, so that we can reach that that goal. That's the miracle of Prophet Muhammad, to make possible the impossible. The impossible is that these animals.
Will you use science to reach it, or will you not
definitely
believe in all the science? Let's say hypothetically science disproves a lot of things in the Quran. Will you accept the science, or will you not?
No, we definitely we use science. There is no nothing in the Quran that says you do not have to. Quran says read, yeah. Quran says research, make sense, okay, make reasons. All right, and for that you need science as well. All right, so we need science, and we have to follow the science. Yes, Sean.
Is your family Muslim? Are your kids Muslim?
My kids are still young, okay. You cannot tell that they are Muslims or not. They have to grow older and understand it by themselves. Of course, I teach them. And my family, not all of them are Muslims. My wife is a Christian. Her family are Christians. My oldest brother is not a religious. He's kind of atheist. And yeah, my father was very religious. My mom is Muslim, yes. So there are different. My sister is not religious either. I don't think she even believes in God. One sister at least.
Is she in Iran? Are they in Iran?
Yeah, they are in Iran, yes. I'm here actually with, there is one brother who is in Stockholm as well. He's the one who is atheist. But he was very Islamophobe before he comes to Sweden. Since he has come to Sweden and he's working closely to my organization, so he's a little bit better. Sometimes I've seen online that he supports Islam as well. So when is the change coming, Muji? Which change? The change in Iran or the change to the world? If you are talking about the change to the world, it's coming. You cannot say when, but it might take hundreds of years. But today you see that. Wait, I have to say this, Sean. You see that today, I mean, Arab Springs happened. Maybe it wasn't successful, but it will be again and again until they reach democracy. And Iran as well, very soon will be, I hope, within few weeks or a month, Iran will be free, and we will be, the entire Middle East will be, if he will be free, the entire Middle East will be also a better place. So I see that it's going towards better times. For example,
don't you think that if hypothetically all Muslim countries were democratic, secular, or democratic, that
democratic, Islam what?
Say again.
Just democratic.
If they're all democratic, do you think they'll all still vote in extremist Muslim parties and still not be great for human rights, specifically women's rights and gays and LGBT?
The thing is that when they are democratic, okay, then they will, they will not vote for such a groups, okay, and such a groups will disappear because democracy is against these people, these extremists. Let me see, Miss Kay say hundreds of years, bro. Yes, hundreds of development doesn't come overnight, Miss Kay. Development has taken thousands of years or tens of thousands of years. Okay?
Well, ideas can change quite quickly, especially now with the internet. People could change their mind quite quickly. So revolutions and stuff.
I know. No. Listen, I was talking about, a much better place, much better world. Could be, I don't know, but I cannot tell you in 20 years, definitely not. It's too early, 20, 30 years. Okay. And for Middle East, perhaps within few years, getting better place. Yeah. Maybe 10, 20 years will become, but for the world to become that world that I was talking about, a peaceful, loving, equal world, might take hundreds of years. Definitely. It's not coming so fast. Okay. Sean?
Are you going to try and convert us to Islam? I heard that the conversion rate in Islam is quite low. It's mainly through birth rates that it's increasing.
All right. No, I'm not trying to convert you to Islam. I'm trying to, make you to understand that there is a peaceful Islam, and that we all people, we have two ways. We have two alternatives: living in this jungle that we kill one another, we destroy our planet, okay? Or we have to get rid of this jungle system, which is destroying our planet, and live in an equal world where we love one another, share each other, okay, with each other. So I'm saying that we have to follow that alternative. And if you agree on that, then either you come with because in this jungle, Sean, we don't need an ideology. We don't need a religion, because this jungle is run by our nature. The strongest one get the most, the weakest one get little or nothing. This is just natural. But in that world, if you want to reach that world, that system, that equal world, then we need an ideology, because people have to believe in that and get away from their nature, animal nature, and sacrifice. Because in that world, we need to sacrifice. What we need to sacrifice, we need to, it's a lot of sacrifice of, this desire for Ferrari, Bugatti, or palaces, we have to sacrifice that. We have to say that I do not need that for a higher belief, which is an equal world, a world with peace and love. And not only that, we have to work free for that society, because in that society, we don't get money. We get anything we need, but instead, we have to also work free. So if you have a better ideology that can take us to that world, but you have to agree that there is just these two alternatives, Sean. Either the jungle, which is destroying the world, or that human world, Sean.
Well, I think I'm kind of with you on the economic stuff, but I still think we'll probably have a bit of capitalism and stuff like that, because I don't know how we could survive. I mean, I guess if we have like technology like AIs and robots, we'll be able to do a lot of stuff for free, but we haven't reached it yet. So we still need money, and that will always lead to class systems.
Yeah. But Sean, I said it take hundreds of years. We still need money. Yes, I understand that. I didn't say tomorrow or next. I said it might take hundreds of years. Yes. So, but we have to go towards that. Okay, slowly. It's not for us. It's not for our children. Definitely, it is for many generations after us. But we have to spread this awareness and make people slowly all believe in it. Like John Lennon said, you may think that I'm a dreamer, but I hope one day you join us and the world will become one. Okay. So we have to slowly make people to believe in it. We can talk about it more next week, Sean, if you join, please. Now is 3 hours and I want to wrap it up if it's okay. Yeah, brother. Thank you for being here, Sean. I can't wait until next Tuesday at most. All right. I'm sorry.
Thanks for the conversation. Salam alaikum.
Yeah, salam alaikum, brother. Peace be with you, brother. Take care. Thank you for being here. Yeah, thank you. Bye. Anyway, Miss Kay, you are very much in a hurry. Unfortunately, we cannot make it that fast. All right. So see you. Thank you for being here, my dear sister, as usually. God bless you. God bless you all. Take care. See you next week.